Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining us. This is the Jock and Nerd podcast. This is your Jock and Nerd Weekly. We're live on Blab for Friday, February 26th, 2016. Let's get busy.
It's the Jock and Nerd podcast with your hosts, Anthony and Imran.
Jock and Nerd. Hi, old friend. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
The Jock.
He's the nerd.
Thanks for checking out the latest fresh edition of Jock and Nerd Weekly in your ear holes, featuring our favorite felty American, Rugboy. What's up, Rugs?
Hey, what's up, dudes?
How's it go? You look good, Rugs. You've been working out, eating well?
No.
Okay, well, whatever you're doing, keep doing it because you're looking fine.
I look like shit and eat like shit.
You are what you eat. Look,
think of the exact opposite of what fine looks like, and that's what Rugboy looks like right now.
Exactly, Mundos.
Absolutely, and that is a great point you bring up, Anthony, because we're live on Blab. This is the Jock and Nerd Weekly. I wanted to, before we get into this week's latest episodes of Agent Carter, The Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, Walking Dead, before we get into this week's news, I wanted to cross-promote some of our media platforms a little bit. Audio listener, if you're listening to this in the podcast, thank you, first of all. If you're a first-time listener, thank you. But did you know you could check us out live and see our ugly mugs in person and see what a rug boy looks like?
Speak for yourself, Imran.
Well, you come on the Blab, you clearly see Rugboy's the sexy one. Anthony looks like a 10-year-old boy, and I look like a scary holy wizard.
Oh, shit.
It's very obvious to everyone here in the Blabs. Not only can you watch us, you can comment and interact with us. And then we open up the show live to Blabbers at the end of the show. It's a lot of fun. Now, conversely, if you're watching this replay on Blab, or if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're here right now live watching us,
no one's watching us on YouTube.
Did you guys? No, apparently not if you check the numbers, but... Did you guys know that we are an audio podcast? Yeah.
Jock and Nerd.
You can subscribe to our free feed in iTunes and any podcast app, and you get weekly shows downloaded automatically. Hours of geekery, hours of Rugboy. So, for example, our last show, we had a lot of fun. I want you guys to check it out. It was our Deadpool movie review with Ruggs. Ruggs was there, and we were joined by Mr. Do Right. You can find that show at jockandnerd.com/Deadpool. Now, technology is great because Do Right was in a car traveling at a high rate of speed and was able to join us on the show.
I think what he wanted to do was to recreate the beginning of Deadpool, the car chase scene, as he was like podcasting in like basically like the Deadpool opening.
He wanted to crash and flip around and kill assassins while he was podcasting. You know what? We almost had to reschedule it, but we're like, what the hell? Everybody's here. And you know what? It sounds kind of cool. It's kind of like a radio show. And we had like a caller on the radio show. It worked out perfectly. Thanks to Rugboy for figuring that one out. Just mute the phone.
Yeah. Mute it.
Look,
put a pillow over someone's face.
It also proves you can't break this stupid show. Jock and Nerd. No matter how hard you try, no matter what's thrown at us, adversity people. Also,
Jesse Lyons is caught up.
Jesse Looney. See, you did what I did.
No,
you got to apologize again.
I'm doing that on purpose, you asshole.
Jesse, if you listen, God damn it, you called me out. I said his wrong name. Jesse Looney in the chat. What's up? He's finally caught up. But I want to mention, make sure you listen to the very end of that Deadpool show because we have a little Easter egg, a little fun Easter egg.
Wowie zowie!
So make sure you get that.
That's a clue.
That's a clue. That's all I'm telling you. All right, gang. Let's get into the news. All right, we're actually not starting with Deadpool news, huh? Right?
Oh, shit.
Surprise.
Wow.
I got one Deadpool thing. I'm saving it at the end. I actually want to start with a little bit of DC Warner Brothers news.
Okay.
Man, you have like 20 new bullet points on here.
Yeah, but I read fast. So, for example, remember we talked about how Warner Brothers is nervous moving forward to their whole cinematic universe. They've turned around, tried to squash this rumor by saying Justice League is going to start filming in April, which is right after Batman versus Superman comes out. So this thing is a go. And you know what? I kind of feel bad for Gal Gadot because think about this. She had to film Batman versus Superman. She turned around and then she filmed the Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
And once that's done, she got to turn around and do this goddamn thing now.
Why would you feel bad?
I don't know. She's going to be
like, what else is she doing?
Yeah, she's an actress.
That's
That's her fucking job, Imran.
The poor girl's going to be exhausted. I want a fresh Wonder Woman for Justice League.
I feel bad for the person that has to work a 9 to 5 Monday to Friday and then do that the next week and then the next week and the next week.
Okay. So I really feel bad for her accountant that's going to have to deposit all her checks and manage her books. He's just adding more work to his job there.
Shut up, pussy. What are you talking about? You feel bad for Gal Gadot.
No, look.
Nobody feels bad for Gal Gadot.
Yeah, she makes I was being facetious.
Okay.
So the movie Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, people, the runtime has come out. So let me give you a little bit of advice. Do not fucking drink anything hours before this movie. Make sure you're empty because this movie is going to be 2 hours and 31 minutes long. Oh, shit. Which I'm glad it probably needs to be another half hour longer. That's 151 minutes if you live your life in minutes and not hours.
So that's 2+ hours.
Over 2.5 hours. I would highly recommend using that app Run Pee. I've talked about it before. It's fantastic. This guy gets the movie. He tells you where you can go pee, and then it fills in what you miss, and you could set it to vibrate in your pants.
So whenever Jesse Eisenberg is on, that's when I'm going to pee.
Yeah, that's probably a good bet. Anytime you see that monkey ass with his long hair. Yeah, I've used it before. It works pretty good. It works good. But for 2.5 hours, I may have to fire that up.
Yeah, you can barely sit through a podcast without having to pee.
You know what? I've gotten better.
But the blab ones are good. But the ones when we don't put these on, when we're not on the blab, you're PC. It's P City.
I'm taking pills for my uromycetitis. It's a disease, people. It's not my fault.
Is that a real thing?
No, I don't know. It was on Seinfeld. Sure, it's a real thing.
Oh. I'm like, what else you got, Imran? What are you cashing in?
I have a vitiligo, I got uromycetitis, I got diabetes, high blood pressure. No, I'm joking. I only have one of those things. So the next bit of news is probably the most laugh out loud thing I've seen this week. We had just talked about this. If you listen to the Deadpool review, we kind of went into discussion about R-rated movies and adult-rated movies and the mistake Hollywood's going to come away. And now the Blu-ray version of Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice will feature an R-rated cut.
Lame.
I think this is very lame. This is completely ridiculous.
What do you think is going to be R-rated?
Dude, nothing. It's going to be complete letdown.
You're just going to add blood to it? You're not going to see Gal Gadot's muff or anything upskirt?
No, you're not seeing that shit.
I hope they would just dub the F word in every other word, but that's not going to happen.
He's just like, I'm fucking Batman.
Yes.
I seen you linked Faraci in these news, and he wrote an article about this too, and basically kind of shit all over this.
It's going to be so late. They're just going to have a little more CGI violence. It's going to be stupid. It's not going to be worth it. They're going to sell a shit more DVDs, but it's not going to be worth it. So it seems desperate and reactionary like everything else they do.
Will you watch the R-rated movie?
Yes, of course I will. Probably.
That's what I'm saying.
I would only watch it if the movie is good in the first place.
It's not going to enhance. Yeah, it's not going to enhance it. That's for sure.
But I mean, if you just admitted to wanting to watch the R-rated.
Like, what if there's I'm just going to sit there and blue sky this right now.
Yeah.
What if there's a shot of the Amazons and they're all running around naked?
Ooh.
Gal Gadot's not naked, but everybody else.
Is.
Possible.
I think we should shoot that and put that in. I'm just saying.
All the shooting is done. The only thing they could do is add more CGI. That's not going to interfere with it.
CGI boobs.
Okay, let's do that. CGI boobs on everybody for the R-rated version. Even Superman, even Batman. Oh, shit. Show me that. But look, for journalistic purposes, I will buy and watch the R-rated.
Journalistic purposes.
For the article.
Okay. Next
is they're projecting this movie to make 100 to 140 million opening weekend, which is a pretty wide range to be vague about what their projection is. What do you guys think about that? You think it's going to make that much?
140 million?
I have to look at other movies and see what.
Well, how much did Deadpool make?
132.7.
Yeah, it'll do it. It'll do as much as Deadpool.
Man of Steel was 116. Around 116, 130.
Really?
Yeah. This is way more advertised and way more in everyone's face.
Batman's a big name too.
I mean,
Look at this.
These same analysts missed Deadpool by, they said half of what it was going to make is what they projected.
Well, they don't have Rugboy employed.
All right, hold on here. Let's do this.
Here's the rundown. Okay, look, you got the CW, and you got Channel 2 CBS in my area that's running, Warner Brothers DC shows, and those things are front loaded with ads for Batman, Superman. Yep. So the marketing is there. There's a huge push for marketing. Everybody knows about this movie. It's going to make money.
Gotham's starting up again on Monday, so they're going to be running goddamn
plugging the shit out of it. You're going to be seeing Batman versus Superman everywhere, even more than it is already.
So the record,
I feel like I see it a lot now.
The record for opening weekend in March is currently held by The Hunger Games at 152.2 million.
I don't know if it's going to break that record.
I wouldn't be surprised if it did.
I think it might. I actually think it might break that
record. The way those things work, though, is it has to have really good word of mouth, because that'll help a lot in breaking an open weekend record.
However,
Batman and Superman are huge names, but for it to break a record like that, I think it'll need like a good strong word of mouth to start.
I think it's going to have the same word of mouth. Man of Steel. It's going to be very divisive and split people. However, if this next rumor is actually true, I may even have less faith for this movie. A new rumor came out that Ben Affleck didn't like the Batman v Superman script and would rewrite parts of the movie dressed in his bat suit.
Oh shit!
You mean like on set, like while it's about to be shot?
He would go in the wardrobe, get all suited up for the day in his Batman suit. He would sit around reworking the script. Ben wasn't thrilled, this article says, with it, and would find himself on multiple occasions fixing it the day of. So yeah, pretty much. He's walking around on set as Batman, going, this shouldn't be I'm the Batman. How about just I'm Batman?
Imagine in the credits it just says written by Batman.
Written by David S. Goyer and Batfleck.
Yeah.
A writing credit. Is he going to want a writing credit now? What is going on with this movie?
I don't know.
We also know that Doomsday is confirmed. Nothing. You got nothing. Doomsday is confirmed. How do we know this? Because the guy who did the performance, Robin Atkin, has confirmed that yes, he did.
Do we need that confirmation? We saw a trailer with his fucking mug on.
Well, just to put all the rumors to maybe that's not Doomsday. We don't know that's Doomsday. It's fucking Doomsday. Right. So, anyways, the movie's coming out March 25th. People, get in line. One last thing from DC. This is kind of cool. In March, there's some Batman versus Superman variant covers coming out, drawn by some interesting people that I didn't know were artists. There's one cover. Batman 50 has a variant cover drawn by Chris Daughtry of American Idol fame and Jim Lee. Like, I think Daughtry penciled and Lee inked it.
Really? I'm looking at these
Chris
now.
Daughtry?
It's pretty good. I'm gonna put this link in the chat here.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, dude. Daughtry from American Idol, on top of being a rocker, he's not a bad artist. I'll tell you what.
You guys are the experts on art, but to my naked eye, it looks pretty good. But
yeah, it's not bad. And like, he had Jim Lee, I think. Doesn't say who penciled or who inked, but it's Daughtry and Jim Lee team. The other one, right? He's good, dude. The guy's got talent. I think he could work in the industry. The other one that's interesting is a Superman Wonder Woman cover by Walking Dead artist Charlie Adlard. And I like this because I've never seen him draw superheroes before, and it's kind of like superheroes in the Walking Dead style. And I like it. It's dark. It's gritty. It reminds me of like David Mazzucchelli. I wouldn't mind him doing a whole Batman book.
Okay.
Yeah. Just different people doing different things. All right. Moving on, a little bit of Marvel news. Captain America Civil War set to have a controversial ending. Well, duh, I guess we knew that. Obviously, it's going to have a controversial ending, but Pepper Potts is also confirmed to appear in the movie. Make that what you will. And then there was that thing that Anthony Mackie kind of let slip that Mark Ruffalo may be in the movie also. He's kind of
so people are going to be in the movie.
There's a lot of people in this movie. Okay, the next two things are a little bit spoilery, so I'm gonna do that. When Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s coming back March 8th from its mid-season break. The last thing we saw, remember, was Ward. Zombie Ward. He came back. This creature called the Beast that apparently Hydra was created to resurrect and bring back went into Ward. So Elizabeth Henstridge, who plays Simmons, she kind of slipped and talked about who this character is. This character is a character. It's going to get confusing with the CW shows because Ward is Hive. He's a character called Hive. He takes the memories of people he's killed.
Okay.
So he was created by Jonathan Hickman in the Secret Warrior series in the comic books. He's a massive genetically engineered parasite created by Hydra, but the TV show, it's a little bit different. So Ward's going to be Hive when we come back. Another awesome spoilery bit of news that I liked was we are much anticipating this other spinoff, Marvel's Most Wanted with Mockingbird.
Are we though?
I think we are. I think it's going to be really cool because
I'm not anticipating.
Look, Agent Carter's done. They need another show.
I don't know about Mockingbird though, but yeah,
right,
keep going.
Maybe this will turn you on. That because this spoils a little bit of what's going to happen to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Check out the log line of this show. It centers on Bobby Morris, aka Mockingbird, and Lance Hunter of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., two ex-spies and ex-spouses who are on the run with no friends, no shield, and a long list of enemies looking to claim a bounty on their heads. Able to trust no one but each other, Bobby and Hunter form an uneasy alliance with Dominic Fortune, a rogue adventurer with a wealth of resources and even more adversaries who agrees to protect him so long as they help him with his own agenda. These two heroes will help anyone in need, all the while trying to uncover the conspiracy that put their own lives in jeopardy. And Delroy Lindo is in this, so that I love.
Doesn't that seem like the plot of season 1 of Agent Carter?
Oh yeah, it does a little bit.
Wait a minute.
What am I?
Two heroes, rogue adventurer, uneasy alliance. There's no shield.
They're trying to clear their name, just like Agent Carter was trying to clear Howard Stark's name.
Oh, so this is just going to be Agent Carter in the present. But what do you guys make of that no shield part?
Well, you got Delroy Lindo, who's going to be Sam Jackson Light,
right,
or Nick Fury Light, or Nick Jackson, or whatever you want to call him.
Nick Fury, Sam Jackson. Yeah, Nick Jackson Fury.
Sam Fury.
Does this mean Shield's going to fall by the end of this season?
No, I don't think it has nothing to do with Shield.
I took it as they were kind of on the run on their own.
Or maybe they just don't have Shield as a backup.
Yeah.
They just want to disassociate everything from Shield,
which is smart. They need to do that. And then these guys can go on their own adventures over there.
Because you think about this, Agent Carter is a Shield thing, and then
Shield is a Shield thing.
Shield is a Shield thing. They got to move away from the Shield so we can have some more fun. I mean, I think they're gonna try it with Secret Warriors. Okay, next thing, guys. Did you see the second trailer or third trailer, I guess, for Daredevil season 2? I'm gonna put it in the chat. Last week we talked about the first trailer with the Punisher. That was awesome. This one features Elektra, and it was also equally as Geek Boner. What'd you guys think?
How do you? I felt like it's gonna be. I'm looking forward to it. I think there's a lot of shit gonna happen in this season. It feels like it's full. You got the Punisher and Elektra. It's chock full of stuff.
And the hand.
The hand. He mentions the hand. You see red eyes on the suit a little bit, like
that.
The mask looks better.
The mask looks better. And then what is the Rising is coming? What the fuck is that?
I like the. There was a shot of the hand climbing up a building, a bunch of them.
Yeah,
I like that shot. I liked the Punisher trailer better, just because I find Punisher to be more of an intriguing character than Elektra. But that's just me.
But think of both trailers. Like, think about this season and both things happening. Like, this is going to be an epic, very intricate relationships, and it's great. It's going to be fucking awesome.
You know what I noticed? They said ninjas a lot.
They did say ninjas a lot. I like seeing ninjas.
More ninjas.
Daredevil 2 now with more ninjas. That's fine with me, dude. It's Daredevil. You need ninjas.
That's
absolutely.
That's part of Daredevil.
That's right. Hey, remember on our Deadpool review show, we were talking about how much money Deadpool was making, and we're like, hey, do you think Marvel's kicking themselves now? And we were all like, yeah. I found this interesting article. Basically, Stan Lee, the only thing he does regret is that he was a better businessman and that he had attempted to gain a share of ownership of the characters. But that's not the interesting part in this article I found. What's interesting is what happened to his deal with Marvel and how he gets paid now. So at one time, it turns out Stan Lee had a stake in the characters, should they make it to film. And it was like a 1998 contract. He was supposed to receive 10% of any profit seen from Marvel-based TV or movie projects. But for somehow there was a lawsuit. Lee filed a lawsuit against Marvel over claims that they failed to live up to that agreement. That lawsuit resulted in a one-time payout of $10 million to Stan. After that, he gets no more money unless he just
10
as
mil,
a cameo.
huh?
That's it. He got 10 mil, and he gets cameo money for every movie. He doesn't get
How much do you think it would have panned out if he just got paid piecemeal?
I think way more if he had gotten.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
This is a tangent, but so are you guys familiar with like the NBA and the ABA in the 70s?
A little bit. I saw the Will Ferrell movie. Is that accurate?
There's two leagues. No, not at all. There's two leagues, the NBA and the ABA. They were competing with one another. Then they merged. The NBA contacted all these franchises, the owners of the ABA, and were buying them out. They were like, hey, we'll give you a lump sum, sort of like what Stan Lee got, or you can get money in perpetuity from the television rights. At the time, the 70s, the NBA wasn't being broadcast live on television. So all the teams did it. They were like, oh, we'll take the upfront money. Except one team, I believe, I forget which team, but one of the teams, I think it was the Kansas City Spirit or St. Louis Spirit, whatever it was, they decided to take the percentage,
TV money,
the perpetual annual TV money. Well, at the time, it was like a stupid decision. But now with billion-dollar contracts, they're getting a small percentage of that every year.
They're still getting paid. I mean,
they're still getting paid in perpetuity. Sort of like what Stan Lee could have missed.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is similar to the way Jack Nicholson did with Batman. I think he took a low pay cut. He goes, I want a cut of the merchandise rights. And he's still probably getting paid today. Also going along the lines of our Deadpool movie review and our discussion of R-rated movies, Wolverine 3 starts filming in the month. And they are saying now that it was always intended. It was designed as an R-rated movie. And I call horseshit on that.
I would agree.
A little bit backpedaling, because really what they're doing now is causing more problems in the sense that little kids aren't going to get to see Wolverine's last movie ever now, are they? They're going to be all upset, and there's going to be more petitions.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but those kids are seeing Deadpool.
They're seeing Deadpool anyway.
They're seeing Deadpool. I'm saying like they're going to get in.
Yeah.
The R-rated thing is a little bullshit.
I think it's bullshit. And like we
worried about the little kid not being able to see Wolverine is also is something you shouldn't worry about.
I just think it's funny how we just talked about this in our last show, and this is what we were afraid was going to happen.
Now we got 2 R-rated films.
Bring them on, people. Okay, this next one is even more controversy.
I have a lot to say about this
because we have an iron fist, and well, people, it's a white guy.
Oh shit!
Wasn't he supposed to be white?
Yeah, the character Danny Rand is white. They have what's the guy's name?
So what's the problem? I don't get it.
Okay, so hold on, Finn Jones. Let's just say this guy's Finn Jones. He's from Game of Thrones. He's a white guy, and this article from Faraci, he says it best. He's got a great line. I'm going to put this article in here, but I have to quote this article. Basically, he calls him out because this is a lose-lose option. There's no way Marvel was going to win with this. Where's the slide about how white this guy is? He says they chose a white guy. He goes, and they didn't choose just any white guy. Finn Jones is like mayonnaise on a fresh snowdrift covered with whiteout. My man is a barrel of crackers. This is I was like, oh, those are good lines, dude. Very well done. So now the Twitterverse, I'm noticing people, there may be petitions. People are going to boycott. They don't understand that the character was not Asian American in the comic books, that it was a white guy, but it was misappropriating culture.
Who the fuck are these people?
Anthony,
why
you're the only one who has any Asian in us at all. What are your feelings about this?
I mean, the character is white in the comics, so they're staying true to that. But it also is that white push where the white guy can do the Asian thing better, which is in every single fucking white movie that has Asians in it. It's always the white guy learning ninja shit or learning kung fu, and he's able to do it better. He's the fucking savior.
I watch a lot of Hong Kong movies. There's no white people doing karate in any of their movies.
Yeah, they're made in Hong Kong, not in Hollywood.
Yeah, where the populace is mostly Asian.
Yeah.
There's no reason for them to put a white person in a movie. This is retarded.
No, I completely disagree. Okay, wait. Okay, you're going to speak on something you're saying that in Hong Kong, which is predominantly Chinese, instead of America, which is a mixed race culture, You're saying
Yeah, but I
Hong
mean,
Kong,
if you look at
how can you cite
percentages,
Hong Kong as somewhere where they should have white people in lead roles?
because they don't have any other people. There's people living of all
Exactly. So,
different.
but what is the
I'm not
where's the
There's
comparison
people of all
there?
cultures. I watch a lot of Hong Kong movies, and there's people of all cultures living in Hong Kong, and they're never represented. And if they are, they're stereotypical parts, just like we do here.
So you're saying that? So you're saying that
Par for the
in Hong
course.
Kong, if they do it over there, it's okay to do it here?
No, I'm not saying it's okay.
Well,
I'm
what's
just
your
saying
point?
that, like,
I'm
I'm just saying.
confused.
Well, first of all, the character is white. Okay, this is the thing. I'm sorry about this. This is bad, but like when these characters were created, they were created by people, and the people who usually created them 9 times out of 10 were white or white, whatever you want to call it, Jewish, white, whatever. These writers or whatever, and they made the characters however they want. How do we even know the guy who created whatever this character was white? We don't know. But he made him white. That's what he decided to do. He made him white in the comics. So it's like to now change it, I feel like that's kind of like I don't know. I
Did
feel
you
like
have a
I mean
problem with Human Torch being black?
no, I don't.
So then what's
Not-
your
I mean-
issue with an Asian Iron Fist?
I just don't I don't have a problem with it. If they made him Asian, I wouldn't care. But to get mad about it,
I think the reason people
to
get
have
mad
an
about it.
uproar about it for no reason
Well,
is stupid.
Why? Because in culture right now, no Asian men are put in media or anything. All
No,
Asian
but
men are
The deal is,
typecast.
it's like okay, like, let's take an argument that's actually has legs, like this Egypt movie that's coming out that Alex Croy has directed.
Yeah.
That's completely whitewashed.
Yeah.
Those characters should not be white, and they are. I would be pissed about that, but this is the character's already white. We already established that was created in this way. So to expect people to change it, I mean, if they change it, it's fine. But to expect to make people change it is, I don't know. There's
That's how
something
you
wrong with
get
that.
you cast an Asian actor when you have an Asian character. So write Amadeus Cho in there, right? Shang-Chi in there. And there
No.
you go. The character of Danny Rand was originally a white guy.
If Marvel decided to make Danny Rand Asian or Indian, I wouldn't care. But the fact that there's people like because they're just following suit of what the character is. They're just going along the path that is already established.
Look,
So
anything,
why is there an uproar? I don't get
either
it.
way, there would have been controversy. Like this,
Well,
they
so
were
it
gonna
was a
win either way.
lose-lose situation.
Yeah, because if
But
they
I-
did,
As someone that is Asian, I would have loved to have seen an Asian in that role,
okay,
and I would have
But
liked
then-
to have seen.
Well,
Because even if it's stereotypical, it's still an Asian in a role of something that is not that is getting some spotlight. You spoke about Pakis in the media.
Yeah.
You don't see Pakis in the media. You
No.
don't see Asians in the media. All you see is female Asians, or you see Asian men typecast in the Yakuza, Kung Fu, whatever roles. You don't see anything. You don't see any
Yeah.
leads. You don't see any spotlight on these
I
people.
got
but
Dopinder.
they cast Hugo Strange as an Asian in Gotham. All right.
Oh yeah, they did. make
Nobody
an
cares
Asian
about
character.
that
Yeah.
because
That's a good
there's
point.
no reason to be upset about Hugo Strange being whatever. But that's the thing. If Marvel just went on its own accord and did that casting, there would be like a backlash. Of course, people would be complaining. Some racist people would be complaining. But to demand that a character is changed is weird. I just feel like if it's already an established character, and maybe you can revive, like let's say for example, the character is like King Tut and they made him white, all right, or they made even Hawkman or whatever, like in the Egypt. Why is he white? I don't know.
Right.
That makes sense to change him, and maybe even Danny Rand, it makes sense to change him. But if he's already established and they don't go that way, you just got to chalk it up to he's always been that way. So they're just keeping the status quo. They don't want to upset the established fans. If they were to change him, I wouldn't care. I would applaud it, but I'm not going to sit there and boycott it. I feel like that's
Oh yeah, the boycott thing is
The
ridiculous.
boycott's a little over. I like Farachi's idea here. What they should have done is gone for like a third generation Asian American who really is more white, like me, who's really more American than Packy. Really more a white guy, and he's out of touch with his culture. And then part of the journey is that he gets in touch with his own roots a little bit, but
right.
he's still like really.
I think the uproar too is, and this is part of maybe my opinion, but I think they had a chance to do something where they could have been the lead on making an Asian character or any sort of underrepresented character. I heard a lot of people online trying to push for like a Puerto Rican Danny Rand or something like that, where they could have done something, pushed it a little bit, gone out of their comfort zone and they stuck with status quo. So I think that's why there's a lot of people that are like,
and then they went really vanilla.
and then they went real status quo.
Well, I don't. To tell you the truth, I would rather have somebody else than this guy that's playing him.
Yeah, I don't know this guy. I don't know.
He's on Game of Thrones.
How is he on that?
He plays this. He doesn't play anything Danny Randish in this. He plays a homosexual prince, I guess you could say.
Okay.
And he kind of doesn't demonstrate any kind of authority or power. He kind of, his sister is doing all the work for him.
Does he bang his sister in the show?
No, he does not. He bangs he bangs a lot of guys.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah. So okay. I don't know. And he's like kind of like really, he's really skinny. He's not like powerful looking or anything. So he doesn't even, give off the right air to me, but that's fine. I mean, whatever. I would rather have anybody cast as this guy, but I'm not going to boycott it.
We have our Defenders team, people. There you go. There's the image. There's the image in your head. That was a great discussion over this topic. Let's get to the TV shows. What do you say, guys?
Does that you have one more or no?
Nah, I'm not going to. We can't follow that up. That was great.
Okay, cool.
That's controversy. I know when to leave on a high note.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
What's up, everyone in the Blab? This is the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. If you stick around to the end of the show, we're going to open it up and geek out with you guys. But right now, we're going to talk about this week's latest episodes of Agent Carter. We had 2 more episodes. Episode 8, Season 2, The Edge of Mystery, and Episode 9, A Little Song and Dance. We had a little bit of betrayal, a little bit of revenge, a little bit of risk-taking, and a dance number. There's a lot. There's a lot going on. Some things I didn't understand, and some things were really cool.
Are you saying you didn't understand the dance number? Because that's
I know it was fun.
Did you cringe?
Weird. I thought it was cringe-worthy.
What was going on there? I knew she was like it was in between episodes. It was
definitely a dream.
He had been knocked out. But I feel like they just wanted a chance to sing and dance, and
it added nothing to the. It added nothing.
It was like the guy playing Sousa, I think, was like, "Look, can I just do one scene without the goddamn crutch? My hand is stiffening up on this side."
There's a line where it's like it's too far campy, and this show has been funny for me. I've really liked the show for all these episodes, but that was a little too much.
That went a little bit over to that other line. We were like,
well, there you go. This is where you patronize people,
right?
All right. You feel like you have a female audience, you got to give them a song and dance number.
Is that what it was? They're like the chicks like the musicals.
I feel like that's what it was because Buffy had a large female audience, and they put a song and dance number in that show.
And that's true. But I just find it odd that she was like dreaming about her love triangle with Wilkes and Sousa, but Wilkes had just like pulled a gun on her and betrayed her a little while ago, and she still wants to like be with him. She was unconscious. Look, I want to start with Jarvis. Jarvis was amazing performance, a different Jarvis this episode because you see the flashback where he tells his wife, Peggy's never going to interfere with our life. And now this is the first time Peggy has been detrimental to Jarvis's life, and he's got to be a little bit upset. I don't know why he doesn't blame her more, and she gets a little frustrated with him. All that shit was great. Those two were so good.
Jarvis and his wife and Peggy
and Peggy. I
agree with all that.
I mean, it was devastating when he finds out from the doctor that, look, Anna can't have babies. This is all Peggy's fault.
And she doesn't know yet.
And he can't even tell her. He can't even.
He does that by the end of it.
That's right. He does it off screen, doesn't
off screen.
Like we don't hear it.
I think that why that stuck out is because we've seen Jarvis just be a goofball for about a season and a half. So the guy displayed a little bit of range.
He straight up ran out and shot Whitney Frost twice.
Oh shit!
Like
he murdered her.
He just shot her dead. I was like, oh shit, Jarvis. What the fuck?
Does that count as murder?
No, because she got right up, of course.
No, I mean, it doesn't count as murder in the sense that she's not dead, but he was intending to murder her.
Yeah, it was his intent. Yeah. He would have done it.
She was murdered. He thought she was dead, and he would have been cool with it.
That was his intention. He goes, this is revenge. Lister made in the chat's got a good point. Nowadays, if a show has to put a song and dance into their show, they want to cater to Glee fans. A little bit of that's true. These Glee fuckers are everywhere. They've spread to all the shows. Now, every show could have a musical.
Absolutely.
You know who really stood out?
Is on Flash.
You know who really stood out for me is Thompson's performance, Chad Michael Murray, because that guy is the slimiest motherfucker on screen.
Yeah.
And you never really know what he's up to.
No,
and I think that's great.
He confused me the whole time.
He confused the shit out of me.
I was like, okay, wait, now he's on their side, but he's playing the other side. But then I thought he had flipped back and then flipped back again. I didn't know what was going on towards.
All right, so what's everybody's like? If you're gonna have to peg him on one side or the other, where are you gonna put him?
I mean, he saved their lives.
He's on the good side, but he wants to do it. I don't know. I can't even put my finger on what he wants.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
He doesn't. His pride is in the way, so he wants to take the glory too.
He's kind of like tempted to be a dick, like and turn into a bad guy. But I think there's some little voice inside of him that makes him do the right thing. But eventually, that's gonna wear out. Eventually, that's gonna lose. Go to the dark side.
He's a dick with a conscience.
Yeah,
he's a chauvinistic asshole, but has a conscience.
It was confusing.
But I think that's good. I think that's a good performance.
Because he was trying to blow up the gamma gun at the end to take everybody out, and he was probably going to sacrifice himself, and then they stopped him from doing that.
No. He walked out. He was hitting
he hit the button
trigger.
Yeah.
But he wanted to kill Wilkes, and that's why Peggy was against it.
Right. Because Wilkes again. What do we think of Wilkes' turn of character? All of a sudden, he's just consumed and he needs this dark force and pulls a fucking shotgun out to a rifle or whatever it was.
Didn't see that coming.
I did not see that. I was shocked. I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe he's lost his humanity because of the infection.
Well, he went into Frost finally gets the bomb and it goes off and creates another rift, and it only takes Wilkes, and she's having a little hissy fit on the ground. She's like, "No, what about me?" And then
she had convinced him prior to that.
Yeah,
prior to that,
that's right.
She had convinced him about Zero Matter and the voices.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd say is that it caught me off guard, but it was almost a little too convenient in that now the audience is just like, oh, you have to choose Sousa. They made it so they made it obvious to everybody.
I see what you're saying.
The pick out of the two good dudes, Sousa's actually the better dude.
They took him right out of the equation. Well, It's like a lot of people were acting. It was about emotional decisions. Back to the gamma gun. Do you think this ties in to Howard Stark, to Tony Stark, to maybe him accidentally causing Bruce Banner to become
Banner? Yeah, it's all time.
It's cool. I like that.
It should be.
Yes. It's sort of all connected.
I like that guy. What's his name? The guy that builds it?
Samberly. Dr. Samberly is great.
I love how he is always throwing shots at Sousa. You don't believe in me. You never believe in me. You never
compliment him really bad.
Yeah.
He gets
and he just follows that chick's orders whenever she says it.
Wilkes, even though he did turn, he still did want to help Peggy. I feel like he pushed Peggy away at the end. After he got all the energy, he was starting to crack, and he pushes Peggy out of the way and runs towards Frost and explodes. And that's the last we see of him. We're probably not going to see him. There's only one more episode.
Oh, he exploded? I forgot about that.
Remember, he was cracking all over, and he pushes Peggy out of the way. He runs towards Frost and explodes right in front of her.
I don't remember any of this
at
all.
Did that happen, Ron?
Yes, it happened at the end. He exploded.
I wonder if
did you watch the right show?
No, I don't know if my thing caught that.
Was there a postscript? Was that a postscript?
I remember the scene. I'm
Did
pretty
this
sure
happen?
it's in there. No, this is the very very last thing you guys don't remember.
No,
the last thing that I remember was the guy and his wife, Jarvis and his wife. He goes and sees his wife.
I'm gonna look it up.
I'm telling you, they explode.
I mean, if you wrote it down, it probably happened, but
no, I guarantee you it happened because I fall asleep while watching that show. I can't stay awake.
And now it looks like this last episode, everyone is going to join forces to take down Whitney Frost, and this may be the series finale of Agent Carter. It most probably is episode 10. It looks like Vernon, Thompson, Manfredi, everybody has to put their differences aside to take down Whitney Frost because she's probably absorbed all that energy that exploded, and it's probably made her super strong. And maybe she finally does get a gold mask thing like Madam Mask in the comic books. That'd be cool.
I would love to see that.
You guys don't remember? All right.
No, I do. I read the synopsis now and I kind of remember it.
Madam Mask has black hair though.
She could wear a wig. Maybe the black. Oh, maybe it changed her hair. All that dark force energy affected. Look, the vitiligo affects my hair follicles. It could be a reverse thing for her with the. She's got dark vitiligo. That's all. It turns white people brown.
She's got black aligo.
Yeah, she's got black aligo. Reverse black aligo. Oh, right.
I think that's just tanning.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I will die.
Can you tan, Emron?
No, I burn real good. I do not tan. There's no. Look.
I would just like you to do just once.
What?
Just do like a Pakistani face.
But like
go get some brown makeup. Yeah, I want to see what you would look like if you were like your natural color.
I am kind of curious what you would look like.
I can Photoshop that, but Jordan of the Pies is right. No melatonin. So what tans is your melatonin.
Right.
Or your melanin, melanin. That's what changes colors. I have none of that, people. I am melanin free since 1970. Sorry, whenever.
Have you ever been curious to do that, Emron?
I've thought about it so many times, but then I think people would accuse me of going in blackface.
Oh shit!
That's a big fucking thing. Go Jock and Nerd blackface scandal. You know what? We might get a lot of listeners.
I would have done it. Like I would have done it by now if I was you.
But
I would just want to see it.
You have a loophole because you are technically supposed to be brown, or not supposed to be, but you would have been brown if you didn't have vitiligo.
Does that make me weird that I would have done it already?
No, I could easily do it in Photoshop. I don't know why. And it's not blackface, people. I'm actually brown. Okay, next show, everyone. Oh, yeah, we are going to spoil and discuss this week's pretty cool episode of CW's The Flash. We're at season 2, episode 15, titled King Shark. And right away, the title of the show, King Shark, I'm going to love it. I'm going to love it. Now, look, this show is so great when they do stuff like this. You see King Shark, you're like, maybe this is a filler. And it kind of isn't. It kind of isn't. It's a great organic move after this crazy 2-part Earth 2 journey. We get a little bit of closure from that. We get a villain and then a huge fucking revelation, which we're going to save. Let's talk about the episode first before we get to the end bit, because that drove me crazy and I have more questions. Now, I loved in the beginning how they kind of decompress. They do a little time jump. He talks about we had this we can't save Zoom. We can't save Jay. They kind of move on with their lives. Wells too and Jesse are stuck there, but they're helping the team. This is nice. However, not everybody, it's affected them, hasn't it? A little bit. They can't shake it, their Earth 2 experience.
Yes. Well, they left that Zoom character running around killing people over there, and they can't do anything about it. And Jay Garrett got killed. And they feel guilty. So
and they're not supposed to tell the Earth 1 counterparts what happened. I kind of like this beginning because it kind of like gives you a little bit of closure and it shows that they're like, it's not like a forgotten thing. Like any other show, they're like, Earth 2, whatever, let's go on. This is a great way to build these characters. So Argus has had King Shark the whole time since last we saw him. And Diggle and Layla in there, and Argus sucks, and King Shark escapes, and he still wants to kill Barry.
That escape was the lamest escape of all time.
Is Argus that incompetent that they just they fell for
Yeah, they fell for like the fish tank thing that every goldfish does. Like when you have a pet goldfish, I don't think it's moving. Is it dead? Let's poke it. Let's poke it and see if it moves.
The oldest sea monster trick in the book.
Yeah.
So anyways, he escapes, and then we get a cue the tons of Jaws references, which was kind of fun, but there was a lot of Jaws references.
Some of them were like eye-rollingly bad.
Yeah. I mean, I like the first one where he goes, "We're gonna need a bigger Flash."
See, that's the one I didn't like.
I didn't like that one.
Like, they really shoehorn that one in there.
I mean, at one point he literally says, "Cue the Jaws music." Like this, no, just without any irony.
Okay, that I like.
Without any irony at all.
That's like an obvious sentence.
Now that we're on the King Shark thing, first off, this is like one of like 3 episodes from CW that kind of had this goofy, like bring in a goofy character sort of thing. So they were all kind of fun in that sense.
Yeah.
This one with King Shark, we'll get to Arrow with Vixen, and then Legends of Tomorrow with Ollie and Connor Hawk.
Yeah.
They were bringing in these like cameo fun characters. So that was like the running theme for the week.
Yeah.
really liked King Shark just because he looked in most shots. Some of them he looked shitty, but most shots he looked pretty good, pretty decent for CW.
What do you think of his pants? I like that Wally mentioned the pants because I was
pants
like,
is always weird.
pants? Like, did he steal Hulk's pants? What's with the jeans?
The pants are funny. I think the
He should
biggest.
have had like Bermuda shorts on, like or like board shorts.
Yeah,
That'd be funny, like with little palm trees on them.
wasn't that like he's just street sharks? Wasn't there a street shark that wore like a Hawaiian shirt? That would have been pretty funny.
Yeah,
I think the biggest thing other
Imagine-
than. Oh, go ahead, Rugboy.
I just keep thinking that the Ninja Turtles are gonna show up and start fighting him at one point.
Yeah.
That's fine. There's or maybe Gamera. Remember when he fights the big shark? Have you seen that movie?
Oh yeah, with the knife head.
About the knife head. Yeah. Anyways, I think the big standout besides the ending, of course, was Grant Gustin's performance when he's giving a good cry and revealing everything to the West family. I thought he really killed it in that part.
Yeah, man, that was great. Like it was bothering him, and he breaks down, and that's some good crying by the Gustin there. He did a good job. He made me feel for it, and not only
He sees Joe die and it affects him.
Yeah, dude. But more importantly, I love that Barry admits that this is all my fault. I was like, way to go. He's there. He's like, I'm sorry. This is my fault. I fucked this up. And he's like, we're still going to get Zoom. We're still going to find a way. And I was like, good for him. Good for him. Like, that's what it needed. Like, it was a lot of great conversation in this episode.
What do you think the ramifications of him telling the girl that they were married in Earth 2?
Yeah, that was what Harrison Wells warned them about, is taking too many cues from the other Earth to shape your future.
And Jay says don't get emotionally involved over there, and I was like, what does that mean? And now we know what it means. He goes, I got emotionally involved. Jay warned me, and it still happened. Like
I think it'll alter their paths, where they were supposed to go down one way, and now that they're influenced by emotion from the other Earth, they're gonna, probably Iris and Barry are gonna hook up again, and probably Caitlin might turn into the Killer Frost one day, and Vi might become Reverb or become stronger.
Dude, how great was Caitlin fucking with Cisco at the end? That got me. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on? And she's just fucking with him, pretending to be.
Yeah, because Caitlin's never funny, so you never expected her to make a
no,
joke.
Yeah, like she never makes a joke.
Did anyone not like, before you get into that, did anyone not like Wally West? I thought he was the only person that kind of sucked.
No, Wally is still a
punk
dick.
Ass bitch.
He is a dick. Oh my god, dude, I really wanted to punch him. He has no idea what he's talking about. He's talking out of his ass. He calls Wally a coward. Now at the end,
Calls Barry.
When Joe tells him what happened, I'm like, oh, I bet you feel like a dick now, don't you, fucking Wally West?
I felt like that was so forced.
Yeah,
by the way,
I
that
agree.
whole Wally West thing, like him, like, dude, you're a chicken shit because you won't play with cups. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Well, that, and then like Barry's like helping him, and he's like, "Oh, you're giving me the answers."
Yeah, I thought we were working on this
I
together.
thought we were working
Yeah, that was
together.
really they tried,
dude.
Basically, Wally is still a dick. That's all. In terms of CGI, back to King Shark, I loved Barry running on water and King Shark chasing him. I feel like they spent all their money on that, because right after that scene, when Barry runs in a circle, it's not so good, people. It's like somebody's video game is stuck and it's glitching out.
Yeah, you could totally tell.
Oh, it's really bad. But the money shot of the freeze when Shark jumps out of the water and Barry's running out of the water, that should look badass. And clearly they spent most of the budget on that, like 2 seconds.
It's weird because they have a shark with like human arms and legs. So like, how do you show that swimming? Like, do you do a human motion or do you a shark motion?
He just propels with he just like slithers, and he clearly could just propel. He was huge though. I liked his size. What do you think? It's like 12. He's like 12 feet, 15 feet.
Oh yeah, 15 feet.
Oh,
he was towering over the house.
Yeah. He rips. I love that he just rips the roof out of the house. Where's the Flash? I was like, damn.
His size was inconsistent.
Yeah,
it was a little, because I don't think he was that big the first time we saw him.
He wasn't that big where he can stand over a house and rip the roof
Sometimes he's
open.
bigger than a house. Sometimes he's bigger than just a tree. It fluctuates. And then there was another Jaws reference.
Let's get to that ending. Well, go ahead. Go list that one more.
Okay, let's get to the. Do you think he overuses that little lightning move though? His little go-to spin and throw lightning. feel like that's
his only projectile that he has.
That's all
other than his
urine.
So this show does a crazy thing at the end. It's kind of, there's a happy ending. Barry apologizes. He reveals this this podium with Jay's helmet in the middle of the room, a little homage to Garrick. And then boom, it cuts to Earth 2. We see Zoom holding Jay's body, drops the body. He pulls off his mask, and it's fucking Jay Garrick.
Oh, shit.
He goes, well, this is a complication. And I instantly just went kind of crazy because I was like, this is unbelievable. They answered the question and gave us more questions. Well done. What the fuck does this mean?
What do you think? Okay, I have theories.
Okay.
All right. Number one, I told you. Remember when we were watching the show and then he came back with the new haircut and a leather jacket? I thought that was a weird change up.
Yes.
So I'm just throwing that out there as a clue. Second thing, the after image. Remember the after image when Barry, he can make a vision, an after image of himself?
Yeah, Thawne did that too.
Thawne's the one that showed that to us.
Yeah.
All right. So if Zoom is much faster than the both of them, then the after image can last a lot longer. N'est-ce pas?
Oh, so you think the dead body of Jay Garrick is an after image when the one where he's back on Earth too?
Yeah.
I think that Jay Garrick,
that would be the cleanest way to tell the story.
I think it's an alternate Earth Jay Garrick. I think it's like an Earth 3 Jay Garrick.
Or is it shapeshifted Eobard Thawne?
Or I've heard that too.
Look,
but who's in the mask?
But that the real Jay Garrick,
the real Slim Shady is.
Wait, I'm so confused. I think the Jay Garrick that we've known.
I think there's two Jay Garricks.
Two people, yes. One was probably the actual Jay Garrick from Earth 2, and then
there's two Jay Garricks.
I think there's probably more. I think there's like 3 or 4 Jay Garricks. There may be a dozen.
Or maybe it's a Hunter Zolomon.
So look, Kreisberg has said that reveal is Jay Garrick, aka Hunter Zolomon. That's who the
reveal? The one under Zoom
at the end.
Those are all after images. I'm telling you.
Zoom is Hunter Zolomon.
Watch it when I'm right next week or whenever.
Actually, like in a month. The show doesn't come back for a month.
Yeah, we got 4 weeks. The
because
next
it makes sense. Okay, look, you got the real Jay Garrick is in the fucking cage. Okay, and then you got the Hunter Zolomon or whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, which is,
and he can make after images that last a long time. A lot of these times, they don't cross over that much when you see Zoom and Jay Garrick. There's not that much crossover time. So that he can make an after image that lasts a few minutes and it overlaps that could trick everybody.
But the after image is...
I guess the only thing I would say to that, though, is why would he make an after image of Jay Garrick, a dead Jay Garrick, to the real Jay Garrick in a mask? Like, why would he need to use that bait on Jay Garrick? Oh, my God, this is so fucking confusing.
It's so confusing.
If it's Jay Garrick in the mask, why would he need an after image of a dead Jay Garrick from Earth 2 on Earth 2 to prove that Jay Garrick is dead to the other Jay Garrick who's in the mask? See what I'm saying? No, maybe not.
Look, and there's
why does he need an after image for this guy?
Like, what makes you think that he needs an after image?
Well, because you're saying it's an after image of dead.
No,
Jay
but
Garrick.
he just cleaned up that story right there, so he wouldn't fade out. He grabbed him and killed him. So before that image could fade, he took care of it. He grabbed it and brought it back with him.
But then he brings it back and drops the dead body in front of the guy in the mask. So
yeah, and then it'll probably dissipate.
But he's clearly concerned. Okay. He's like, this is not part of the plan. He goes, this is a complication.
No, him being locked out is the complication.
Oh, yeah, that he can't go back.
Yeah. Well, why would he care if he?
I took.
Why would he care if he killed?
Oh, go ahead.
Why would he care if he killed Jay Garrick? Either way,
I took it that he was like, "What the fuck? There's another Jay Garrick." That's the way I took it. That's why I'm thinking he's like an Earth 3 Jay Garrick.
See,
or Hunter Zolomon.
What if that Jay Garrick was Eobard Thawne? He's trying to get the Velocity 9 to help both of them get their Speed Force back also. This makes my head hurt.
I mean, the cleanest explanation is the after image, like Rugboy said. But
if you think that there's two Jay Garricks, I don't know if they were to introduce an Earth 3?
There could be.
That would-
Well, what Earth is Supergirl in? He's gonna go on Supergirl. That's not Earth 2. What the fuck Earth is that? Could he come from there?
Oh, that could be okay. I'll give you that.
I think there's 2 Jay Garricks, and then there's one dude that looks like a Jay Garrick. But yeah,
Which one is Balky?
they're all Balky.
Where's the Balky Garrick? Where's Balky Flash?
Yeah, Balky Flash, dude.
Where's long-haired vested Balky
Teddy
Flash?
Sears, the actor, has he's cast in 24 Legacy, also joining my man Corey Hawkins on that show that people think is going to suck, but I love 24, so I'm going to watch it. Also, Teddy Sears, I put this link in the chat. He Instagrammed a picture of him holding the Flash helmet with the Zoom glove from his Instagram, which that's kind of fun when actors do that. I like that. I don't know. This is a great. We have to wait 4 weeks. Flash isn't coming back till
Why
March.
is it taking off?
I have no idea.
Did
Legend.
it end at a certain time?
I don't. Yeah, maybe. Well, Flash and Arrow are going to take a break, but I think Legends will be back next week. I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be weird.
All right, let's move on to Arrow. I like this episode, by the way.
It was good. Lots of fun. Moving on.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
By the way,
this is, yeah.
You can edit this out, but at like 8:15, 8:20, I'll probably jump out, but we don't have to rush or anything. So just
Okay.
give out all your thoughts. You don't have to rush and get
Just
through.
say bye.
Yeah.
Okay, gang, we are now on to this week's episode of Arrow on the CW. Oh, Listermate says they're on March hiatus, March Madness. Good call, buddy. That makes a lot of sense.
Jock shit.
All the jocks have to watch. You're gonna miss their comic book
Anthony,
geek show.
hey, Anthony, you should have fucking. Where were you on that one? Come on.
Lame.
Bro, do you even podcast?
Anyways, Arrow season 4, episode 15, called Taken. About like that movie with Liam Neeson, which kind of had a similar plot as this episode, in that Ollie's boy is taken. Give me back my son. That's another movie. But look, dude, this episode, right from the beginning, they didn't waste any fucking time getting into things. Oliver and Felicity are talking. She's trying to walk. It's not working so good. And then, boom, Damien Dark just shows up, blows up Oliver's spot, going, look, I have your kid. I want you to take a news conference. You're going to drop out.
Oh, shit.
I was like, damn. And Felicity's like, who's William? And then he just blew up a spot. That was great.
Yeah.
Got a lot of explaining to do.
I was frustrated with Felicity's reactions, but then I would think about it and I'd be frustrated with Ollie's initial decisions. First, I was frustrated with Felicity for being so hard on him at a time when he's like really struggling with something. But then I'm frustrated with Ollie because I'm like, dude, you should have just told Felicity and just been like, don't tell anybody.
Exactly.
And especially with the fact that like everyone else knew. Like there were like 3 other characters I knew.
Yeah. Did you notice though? She kind of said a couple of the same lines to him that she said the first time he told her he had a son in the timeline that was erased over on the Flash.
Yeah, she doesn't react well to that shit.
No, she doesn't.
She gets mad a lot. Listen, damn, I had a thought and it went away. Damn you, thoughts.
Well, here's a thought. If so, they bring in Vixen because
they
she's
need magic. Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Imran making me watch the first episode of was it called Vixen on DWC?
Yeah,
I would. As someone, if you hadn't seen any of those episodes, you'd be super confused with this Vixen character coming in because they didn't do any explanation of her at all.
That's very interesting.
She seemed like very Deus Ex Machina if you didn't watch that show.
Similar to Constantine's appearance, to set up Vixen, they did like 6 5-minute episodes on CW Seed where they even said it's kind of our playground. We're going to try out some characters. Flash and Arrow were on that show, voiced by Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin. And now they bring her into live action, but she looks different. She had short hair there, but she was hot on this show. But,
you cited Constantine. I just want to say real quick, you cited Constantine, and although it is similar, at least Constantine was on a major network.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas,
it wasn't just on a random website.
Has the CW app, Seed app? No one has that.
I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, if you notice, they had to promote that to go, hey, go watch this now that you've met Vixen after the fact. So, Ruggs, was that jarring to you? Vixen just showing up
No, I know who Vixen is from the comics, so like it didn't bother me that much, but I just don't like how they did it.
Well, you were afraid. We wanted to know, was it going to be cheesy? Rugs, cheesy, yay or nay?
Yeah, it was a little cheesy. I didn't like. I mean, she was okay, I guess, a little high on the cheeseometer for me. But the thing I hated the most was how she just comes in and like solves the problem and breaks the stupid idol, and then Dark is now depowered. It's like that was
that was all very. I
they
was
couldn't
like,
figure that out without her. They didn't even need her to do shit.
Look, I didn't mind the manifestation of the animal.
I liked that.
That part was cool. Now, the really cartoony CGI was that moment you said, Ruggs, where they planned to jump in and she leaps over him. Like a bouncy. It looked really cartoony. And
no, it was really bad when
horrible.
Arrow shoots the arrow and he swings over the city. It looks really terrible.
It looks bad. I agree with that.
Was
too.
that as bad as Thea's upside down on the back of a motorcycle? Accurate shot? Come on, people.
Why are you putting people through this?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about that is it looked like it was filmed on screen. Like what Rugboy is referring to is like clearly CGI shit.
Yeah, well, yeah.
At least it was like she was on screen doing that.
The stunt double was, or somebody was.
The stunt doubles were in full effect this episode.
They had a lot of work this episode.
I think what I did like about Vixen is her power manifestation was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And not to compare her to another African American chick on another show, but I will. She's already way more charismatic than the girl that plays Hawkgirl ever has been.
Well, yeah. I think it's she was very, you're right, she was very commanding, she was very confident,
she had at least a bit of presence. Yeah,
she had presence. I love the actress. I didn't get the name of who's playing Mari McCabe is her name, but I just love, like, she's badass. She's like,
I don't know why they made the decision to have the long hair though. That maybe she didn't want to cut her hair.
Probably
that was weird because I saw that CW Seed show, and then I was when they showed the commercial of it again, I was reacquainted with how she looked, and she looks different than how she looks on that show.
She's always had short hair, though.
Yeah.
She's also traditionally the character in the comics has had short hair.
Yeah, to my knowledge.
I love her. She's like, I'm gonna kick your ass like a woman, and just fucking rhinos out on people. Like, she was badass. And then the little Easter egg where Oliver's like, "Yeah, we had an animated encounter last year." That was kind of cute.
That was nice.
By the way, did you notice in that scene when Samantha shows up, right? The baby's mama. And Oliver tells her, go ahead, let's just tell her, I'm the Green Arrow here, come into the cave. Here's everybody. Right. Just fucking put it out there.
Yeah.
And then everybody's there. Laurel is there. And Felicity is there. And Samantha is there. And I'm like, whoa, Ollie's banged 3 out of the 4 girls in this scene. And the 4th one is his sister. So he had no opportunity, but I'm sure he would have. If it wasn't his sister.
He's banged everybody, including Sarah Lance.
Dude, like, just think of the amount of characters.
Did he bang Shadow too?
He did. He banged Shadow too.
Every girl on the show. Not only that, I love the moment that he cheated on Laurel with Samantha. And
yeah.
Out and poor Laurel is like,
and she's got feelings about
she,
that.
She threw a strong ass jab at him, which was like, no, he should have known, or he should have been the one to tell me.
I felt bad for her. It's like, she's like, I thought I would have been over it.
Well,
but it hurts still.
You didn't feel bad when Laurel was being cheated on with her sister?
Oh shit, I forgot about that too. Wow.
Yeah, like after like
sleazebase,
after
scumbag.
After your boyfriend fucks your sister, like everything else should just be like nothing.
Water under the bridge at that point.
Yeah,
right?
You should be like, all right, I guess you checkmated me. I can't really. These pawns are not going to really affect me.
You know, hence Lance's line where he's like, I'm surprised there are more baby Olivers running around the city. That's a good point. I'm surprised too. There should be a whole army of little baby arrows running around.
He was a real scumbag. I actually did like this episode, but I had one point I want to bring up. So we know that Malcolm sets up
that's out. Everybody finds out it was
right?
Malcolm who took the kid. Yeah.
Well, and that he was the one that planted that with Dark. We all knew that from the last episode. The only thing that doesn't make sense to me is, so they're working together now, Malcolm and Dark, because Malcolm now hates Ollie again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why doesn't he not fucking tell Dark what Green Arrow's identity is? Why is Dark still in the dark? Pun intended, on who Ollie really is.
And how the fuck has Dark not put 2 and 2 together? Like, don't you think you would have figured it out by now that this is the fucking Arrow?
Well, even if he hadn't, he's got now Malcolm to tell him. Malcolm gives up his son. Why does he not just give up fucking Green Arrow's identity?
Still, and
Doesn't make sense.
Who's so moving forward? Is Dark out of the picture? Are we going to see him again? Who's going to be?
Well, he's not dead.
He's not dead. He's just captured.
He'll just get a new magic thing to make him do things.
He'll get a new totem.
Yeah. They got a whole shitload of them.
They've spent too much time on Dark for him to be out just like this.
Out like very quickly. It was weird.
And like he's got like a some other totem shit stashed somewhere. I know. I'm just gonna go get at the other one. He's this one's a little bit.
And then he'll break out. And then a couple more things. The very end where Felicity does not want to get married to Oliver.
Good.
Yes,
I'm glad.
I was very, very happy that she's breaking it off. But the funniest part.
Oh my God, it was painful.
Who wants to describe how this happened?
Can I real quick?
Yes, this is
right.
brutal.
So as she's breaking up with Ollie, oh my God, she has feeling in her legs.
Yeah.
So she's able to actually get up out of her wheelchair and walk out on him at the most convenient moment ever.
The only way to make it worse is that she automatically like ages down like 10 years and gets bigger boobs as she's walking out of the door.
Ass grows and she turns and fucking flips them. Like, how funny! No reaction. She gets feeling in her leg just to walk out of the fucking room on him.
Oh shit!
Holy shit!
I laughed. I laughed so hard. I was like, "This is the cheesiest shit I've ever seen in my life."
Oh my God, that was great. Now I want to talk about
that was so bad. Great as in
great as in just greatly hilariously awful. Sometimes listener might say sometimes I don't know if Felicity knows what she wants when it comes to guys. I'm with you on that one. It makes no sense. I just want to talk about the flashbacks real quick because we have an email from David Malofsky regarding the flashbacks. But this flashback basically we find out Ryder's using Ollie because he's got the magic tattoo to get past the guardian who's Conklin come back to life with the white eyes. And Conklin, the tattoo starts glowing. Conklin's like, "Oh, you can pass." And he disappears, and then there's a big cave. That's it. I don't know what's going on.
It's still confusing. I mean,
Malofsky writes it. I don't know what's going on there. He says, "Here's my error prediction. No one likes the flashbacks. We theoretically only have to put up with them until the end of season 5. But what if season 4 ends with everyone currently on the island either leaving or dying, except for Ollie? Final shot is him just kneeling alone, trying to start a fire. Then next season, it's just a single 1 year later flashback, and he's getting rescued. Move along. I'm good with that. I don't know what you're doing with these flashbacks.
I'm done with these flashbacks.
They're better than last year's, in my opinion, because the China ones were really bad. But every time they show a flashback, I forget what happened in the last flashback. I'm like, wait, what are we going after again? What's going on?
All I have to say is,
how dare you do this to us?
That's all I have to say about that. All right, gang. Any final thoughts? That was a good show. That was a good episode.
I just want to say that the thing you have to remember about Arrow is that he's the only superhero that gets laid.
He really is.
He really is. I mean, the Flash hasn't done anything. Supergirl hasn't done anything. Who else? Gordon gets laid every once in a while.
I would say that
and Rick Grimes gets laid.
Rick Grimes gets fucking laid.
Talk about the deep ricking we saw later.
I predict that Ollie does end up banging that Russian chick too that he killed the brother of.
Oh my God.
He's going to. They were hinting at it earlier. A couple episodes. She's not that good.
Kill your brother and then knock you up.
And then your sister.
Oh my God. Ollie could be. God, he puts Bruce Wayne to shame with his fucking Playboy.
He is Bruce Wayne. Remember,
he is Bruce Wayne. He's like they're just
Bruce Wayne on TV is just named Green Arrow.
But he's got all sorts of fucking venereal diseases, Barry Allen. All right. On that note, let's move on.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
Prepare to be spoiled.
All right, the last CW show for the week, Legends of Tomorrow. We're still in the first season. This is the 6th episode, titled another
Geek Boner
title, Star City 2046.
I love this episode.
This was what did you think? You want to start it off? What'd you like about it?
Arrow is the show that got me into watching superhero TV.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed like a ruined Star City. I thought that was fun. I enjoyed Connor Hawk was a little lame that he named himself Connor Hawk. That was very
for no reason.
For no reason.
Yeah.
But I liked like the old school Ollie and like him coming back, and I thought like him getting his redemption. I thought that was all. It all really worked. The only thing I didn't like about the episode is the weird love triangle that they were trying to shoehorn in. It felt like a different part. Like it didn't feel like it had anything to do with
like
the
a
stakes of this
rom-com.
episode.
I was like, why?
I didn't
Really?
mind that at all. I was happy someone was
Dude,
trying
that's
to get
true. We
laid.
just talked
That's
about
true.
how-
I mean, if I was on the ship with that girl, I would be trying to fuck her right
Yeah.
every chance I got. The thing I didn't like was the comically bad, Snart and whatever.
See?
And
I
Mick,
like that.
like, no, how he just shows up and like deposes the one guy, instantly becomes the leader, like he won a
That was
video
so
game.
Great.
He just leveled up and like.
I loved.
What is
I
this?
love that Heatwave was in heaven.
He
He
was
goes.
loving it.
He like there's Mad Max style gangs roaming the city. He fucking burns a guy, takes his fur coat. He's like, "Hey, baby, let's go." He goes, "Why would you leave?
That's
I'm in
terrible.
heaven." He goes,
It was that is
"Isn't
the
the
worst
future
writing I've ever
great?" No, I love him going. I don't remember names. I'm gonna call you Fonzie. You're a Kaneki.
Fun.
Just like old lame references.
Yeah, that could have been written
Holy
10
shit.
times
The
better.
only thing is they're inconsistent on like Heatwave and Captain Cold's motivations. Like one week
Yeah.
he wants to be a part of the team, and Captain
Fair
Cold's
enough.
like, "Fuck Adam, we're gonna leave him." But this week it's like Heatwave's like, "I'm staying here. This is what we want." Captain Cold's like, "No, we're a part of a team." Like, why the fuck do they keep flip flopping? Like, what is going on?
That is a good point. I had so Snart wants it basically comes down to this. Snart says he wants the glory of taking down Savage. Rory just wants to see the world burn. That's where their motivations ended this time, anyways. But you're right, like it's always back and forth. I kind of like the clash of them where Snart's trying to like talk some sense into him, but he's having way too much fun, which is always interesting. I thought the whole thing about them, they always seem to take the difficult and complicated course of action when sometimes it would have been easier just to go back to the past and then none of this would have happened. That
Well,
was
they
kind
were-
of the main discussion between them.
They were oh, what do you mean?
Yeah, between Rip and everyone else, really.
Well, they were stuck in that time. They had to repair the ship.
Right, but why go out, mess about? Just stay there, fix the shit, go back. None of this ever happens. This happened because you guys left 30, and even say this happened because Ray and Sarah weren't there to help them after they left 30 years ago.
Well,
But-
Sarah just felt like a strong connection to like I got that like this was her home. Like she
What's up,
she wanted
Jeeves?
to help.
Yeah. I did love how like it was the kids fighting each other.
Did you like the
We
twist
find-
on that?
Yeah, we find out Deathstroke is
Dude.
Grant Wilson, Slade Wilson's son, fighting John Diggle
Diggle
Jr.
And he did not get the looks of his father. I'll tell you
You
that,
don't think
man.
so?
He looks like he fell and got hit by every
Wow.
ugly stick on the tree.
I thought he kind of
thought he-
resembled John Diggle.
Some looking fellow. I don't see what you're saying. He wasn't.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about Deathstroke's son.
Yeah. Grant Wilson he's a wacky looking
He
fellow. I
got
thought
beat,
you
he
meant-
definitely got beat with an ugly stick for
Yeah.
sure.
Who was the mom in that
Yeah,
one?
because you're talking about the kids fighting. I'm like, oh yeah, that one guy.
Grant Wilson. That's not a lame name.
But is Connor a real character, or is that a guy
No,
just
that's a
taken up for the
real
show?
Green Arrow in the comic books. There's a
Actually Oliver's son.
is
in
it?
the comic book.
No.
I think.
No.
That's another guy.
It's
Just
another like DC has that tradition of passing along the title. He was like the next Green Arrow.
So
Now, was
No,
he black
white
in the
guy.
comics
No.
as well?
yeah.
See, look.
But then
there
didn't
you
Diggle
go.
have a girl? They have a daughter. They don't have a boy.
Yeah, I don't know.
The future
Well, they
is
can-
in
Hey, he
Diggle
did. He's still got some vitality in those nuts. Come on.
Yeah,
the
he's still got some swimmers.
future's in flux. What'd you think of Stephen Amell's old makeup there?
Look fine to me.
Look fine.
I liked it. I liked everything about when Stephen Amell came on and like was in the shadows and with one
That
arm.
was cool.
I loved it. That's when this episode was like, I'm fully on board with this shit.
And for those people that don't know what Easter egg that's referring to, it was kind of a nod to The Dark Knight Returns, which is a future story and has future Oliver Queen. And in that, he has a goatee and he's missing an arm. And he straps on his little cybernetic arm, which is awesome, and shows up and takes down Grant Wilson at the end. And then they're like, okay, we're going to be the Green Arrow. They're cleaning up the Arrow Cave. But I'm like, but what's they go back, none of this shit is gonna happen. It won't happen. None of this will ever happen.
It is pointless. It's pointless. Yeah.
And that was his point too. I love that conversation. Rip is like, this is a possible future. It's in flux. This is a potential timeline. This stuff doesn't necessarily have to happen if we just fix the ship and go back.
You want to know? See, that's the thing. She doesn't know how time works. I gotta see him. According to the Time Lords, she just did it for her own satisfaction. That on the off chance that it's not a diverting timeline. That if they were go back and this is a completely separate timeline.
Well, there was that, and the fact that their job, there's no guarantee that they're going to live either. So, as Rugboy said, if this is the timeline, then they're at least helping it out.
Well, and he does kind of say he learns his lesson at the end, or he's like, look, I guess every future is fighting for. I get it, blah, blah, blah. But really, people, you almost got us killed several times.
Do you guys like that every episode, Rip Hunter and them are like arguing about the time and like how he's supposed to be this expert, but then he's always able to be, he's always able to be convinced that he's wrong.
He's like me on this show.
Oh, shit.
Easily swayed.
Wow, that's very
easily swayed. He's pulling a dual nerd. He's pulling the old nerd on the show. Time is in box. Okay, we should fucking.
It's a running thing though. Like every time, like this is how it's supposed to be. And they're like, no, it's not. He's like, okay, you're right, it's not. Even though he's the one from the future with all the tech.
Wait, I'm the time traveler, you assholes. Yeah, no, it was a fun arm. I love the Easter eggs where Oliver goes. Prototype is at the warehouse at Adam and O'Neill, which is Neil Adams, Danny O'Neill, who had a great run on Green Lantern and Green Arrow, combined Green Arrow storyline. So, wow.
Sarah had a good speech to him too about he's like, I'm half the man the city needs. She's like, well, that city needs you that half of this person right now. And he all like has like his rise from the the pit like Bruce Wayne did in Dark Knight Rises.
That when he finally got in the suit and came back, that was a pretty badass moment.
Yeah.
So good shit. I liked it.
Yeah, the rom-com bit though was that kind of ended with both Kendra basically saying, life's a little complicated for me to be dating anyone. And then they all buddy like, hey, we should have picked me though. Oh yeah, blah, blah.
I read something online and I agree with it. The problem with Kendra, besides the fact that I think she's a bad actress.
She's learning.
But every character is like has their distinct personality. Like this guy, Jax is the young, Jock. Yeah. They all have their shit. She has like 8 things going on at the same time for her. She's a former barista that's lived like 20 different lives.
Mention that again. I was waiting for her to fucking say that shit again. She didn't, but
she's like a barista. She's a fucking hawk girl. She only has one purpose on the show, which is to kill Savage. But then she has like thousands of years of like life. So it's like, oh, today I'm a mechanic. Tomorrow I'm this. Tomorrow you're never focusing on like her stress of being like alive and like dealing with the fact that Carter's gone and that she is, regaining all these memories. There's no focus on her. There's too many things going on with her.
Not only that, but she's not the type of actress that can actually handle that kind of responsibility.
Emote that kind of complex.
Like, imagine you were a guy or a girl that was alive for such a long time and has all these memories and all these things. It takes a different kind of actress to pull that off. I would think that Haley Atwell could pull it off. She's that good of an actress, to actually pull off these multiple personalities and things, experiences. This girl can't really hold a candle.
It's hard to buy it with her fully.
Rugboy brings up a good point. She should be someone that's portraying like multiple personality disorder.
Almost, yeah.
But she's not. She just stands around and looks confused all the time.
Yeah, she has no idea what the fuck is going on at any point ever.
She's always like victim, and like they write her out to be this really weak character because she doesn't know what's going on all the time, and she was written to be destined with Carter Hall. Like that's the weakest of fucking characters that you can put on a show.
Yeah.
So I had a rant. Sorry.
I mean, I did love at least the team kind of came. That last scene where everybody shows up and they come together.
That was cool. Very cool.
There's 2 arrows. The whole team is there. They're taking down Deathstrokes. That's a lot of fun. That's the kind of shit I want to see.
They do. They try to work that into every episode where it's like the team fighting, and it works every time.
Yeah.
It's better at night though.
It looks better at night.
Keep it all at night. At least they're not ending the thing going, hey, should we still be a team, guys? I don't know. I think they've moved past that a little bit. All right, then. What say you? We get to the last show of the week that we'd like to talk about.
Jock and Nerd.
one more spoiler alert.
Let's spoil some shit, Batman.
I can do this one too.
All right. I think you want to stay for this. You guys in the Blab, thanks for checking out. This is the Jock and Nerd podcast. If you stay, you right there. If you stay till the end of the show, we're going to open up the bottom box and geek out with you. Just want to say thanks to Jordan Radford for working our fourth screen with the logo and changing the titles. As you see right now, audio listener, you can't see, but we're going to be talking about The Walking Dead, season 6, episode 10, titled The Next World.
Let me hear Rugboy's thoughts on it because he
Rugs,
shitted on the episode last week.
Let Ruggs start this one out.
Okay. This is another episode that was interesting in a way. Okay, I'm like done with this show kind of in a lot of ways, but I'm watching it because it still is a good show in spite of how much shit annoys me. It's so weird. I'm just having this love-hate relationship with this show now.
You do.
But
you definitely do.
So okay. We cut to like 3 weeks have passed or something like that.
It's actually 2 months.
All right, really?
Holy yes. Fuck. In Talking Dead, Danielle Guerra, who plays Michonne, she said 2 months time jump.
All right, they give you no indication that 2 months.
No, they don't. You wouldn't know.
You figure it's a couple of weeks, but it's 2 months.
Yep.
All right. You got what's his name? Damn it, the kid with the Carl. He's sitting there playing with his balls, and he's throwing a ball against the wall for
Very
therapy to kind of get his hand-eye coordination, depth perception under control. And Rick gets up and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go on a run with Daryl out into the wilderness to find some shit." And then you see kind of like this wink from Michonne, the bathrobe. And she kind of like is smiling for the first time. She's like, "Get me some of that toothpaste." And they kind of have like a moment.
It's very domestic.
Anyway, so then they just cut to Daryl and Rick doing, making a search. And the guy with the mullet tells them to go to a certain place that there might be a food there.
Eugene wants sorghum. I'm talking about sorghum. Sustainable crops, long drought cycle, sorghum.
So he goes to the scrotum, and then they go there, and they open the garage, and they find this van, and they find the van full of food, and they're like, jackpot! And they just all they have to do is go home.
All they have to do at this point is take the truck, drive it back to Alexandria, which now they have fixed the walls. Clearly, it's been 2 months, but stupid Denise makes a request to Daryl because she wants to treat her girlfriend with some soda pop.
That's right. So they go to a gas station and they see this machine.
Her girlfriend being Tara, by the way.
Tara. Yep.
Yeah. So they're bumping uglies, and they go to get soda out of this vending machine, and they chain it to the van. And all of a sudden, Jesus appears.
Oh, shit.
They see the Lord? What happened?
No, it's a guy there with a beard and piercing blue eyes who somehow is a ninja.
Yeah.
And kicks the shit out of both of them and takes the van, fools them.
Well, he doesn't kick the shit out of them. He just fucking tricks them with some fireworks.
Yeah. Well, no, he can fight, though.
But he can fight because they catch up to him later.
They catch up to him on foot.
On foot.
So anyway, he takes off. Like basically, he tricks them with fireworks and takes off in the van, food with the vending machine attached to it, and it goes flying down the highway. And Rick and Daryl just start hoofing it, and they catch up to him.
They do the Alexandria 5K turkey trot. And
he happens to have his car break down at the most convenient.
He's changing a tire. Those guys are in good shape, though, man. They got lots of stamina. They fucking keep running and catch up.
So they conveniently show up as he fixes the tire, so now they can drive away again.
But then he does some ninja moves there, but they get him. And I was like, "Ooh, Jesus can fight!" And they tie him up, and they leave him. They tie up his feet and his hands, tied up, leave him on the side of the road. They take off.
Yes, and then. Like Batman, Jesus is on top of the car.
Oh, shit.
And then this is where everything goes wrong. Look, it wasn't the fact that they caught up to him on foot. It wasn't the fact that he was on the roof like Batman after they tied him to the side of the road. This is the part where I just completely go, fuck you, and give the finger.
You're putting people through this.
Yeah, no, I mean that's
Rick
all.
stops
stuff that makes
short.
sense.
Jesus comes flying off the roof, and all they have to do is turn the car around and go back on the highway and go home.
Yep.
But they don't because the writers suck my dick.
How dare you do this to us?
And that's all I have to say about that.
By the way,
I gotta run real soon, so I'm just gonna have my quick thoughts.
Yes,
because I have a 9:30 dinner reservation.
Oh,
with some
where you
friends.
going? Place nice.
Cortino in Chicago.
Oh,
Italian tapas. But anyways,
good plug for them.
Yeah, good plug. Yeah, everything Rugboy said was fucking hilarious, and the show has a knack, especially lately, for making things more complicated than they should with the writing. Like, it makes logical sense to just burn up the pit, or it makes logical sense for them to just turn around and leave Jesus in a fucking field, but they decide to do something stupid, and that's always it's been like the running theme now for a little bit. So that is kind of shitty. I do think Jesus is an intriguing character.
Oh, he's gonna be cool.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about the comics until after that he was in the comics. But they hinted at him being something to watch for. I like the time jump because the first half of the season probably took place in 2 days.
Yeah,
so I'm glad that they're like at least moving things along. And I have to jump to the end just because I'm about to leave. But the Michonne Rick thing caught me off guard.
Michonne is a thing now, people.
That really caught me off guard.
Was that the first time that they ever fucked, or they had fucked before?
No, I think that was the first time.
Oh, you think they weren't fucking on the reg?
No,
I think they've been fucking on the reg.
No, I think she always lived there. They lived together, and here's why I say that, because on The Talking Dead, she talks about them rehearsing that scene. They rehearsed everything except for the kiss. They wanted to kiss the first time on camera to make it seem organic. This is the first time they've hooked up after they're already living like a family. She's kind of like the mom.
Yeah, that was the only thing that I thought they were fucking on the reg just because
I don't think they were.
That one scene in the beginning, she's already like in a bathrobe.
No, they're domesticated. They're just living
very domesticated,
living together as kind of like a pseudo, like the New World family. But I don't think this ever came up. But I love that organic moment after a crazy day. They get to appreciate a little bit of downtime, a little domesticity, and it made a lot of sense to me.
See, I was that whole thing where she says "move" on the couch.
Yeah.
That made me believe that they had already fucked. Because that was a level of comfort that you only have with someone that you put your penis in their mouth.
With that, I have to drop out, guys. I'll see you guys later.
Right,
I got to change and head into the city.
Have fun at dinner, Anthony.
All right, Ed.
So this is what I think, dude. I like this episode because it was, after a bunch of really crazy, tense episode, I thought this was a well-structured, balanced episode. You had some action. You had some comedy. You had some good drama with Spencer getting closure for zombie Deanna. And then you had this nice, quiet moment at the end with a crazy twist. And then at the very end, their sex is so good that they see Jesus.
Oh, shit.
Meaning he's there and they pop up naked and he's like, Rick, we got to talk. And I was like, this is a slippery ass motherfucker. Here's my theory. I think Jesus has mutant abilities similar to Nightcrawler from the X-Men, and he just transported himself on the roof. How the fuck did he get on the roof, Rob?
Did you read the Jesus comics?
Yes.
So do you have any insight on this?
He's kind of a scout. He's kind of doing what they were doing.
Does he work for Negan's?
No, he's a scout for another. I believe he's just a scout for another community, and I think it's for the Hilltop community.
Okay.
What's
their deal?
They're just in a bigger community that's already been living together. Probably it's just going to be another kind of neighborhood. They might do the thing where it's like a big neighborhood. But I have a feeling because they are going to introduce this other dude from the Hilltop Colony, like the leader. I think he's scouting for them, just like Rick and Daryl were they were talking about scouting for people. I liked how they both flip sides, where Rick's like, hey, maybe we should lost some people. And Daryl's like, no, not this guy. I don't like him. And Rick's like, well, we need to embrace new people. Like, they flip sides.
Well, I think Rick wants more vaginas.
Well, why is he bringing Jesus back?
Well,
That's a
you know.
mangina.
Well, no, like he knows where the other vaginas are.
Oh, okay. Follow the
got
vagina,
access.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's about it. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say about that episode other than that I thought that there was a lot of stupid shit happening and when him and Daryl were out. Like they could have I mean
Oh, I have to share this. Somebody has taken I'm gonna put a link in the window. Somebody has taken that whole chase scene where it looked like they were playing tag. Remember when you played tag when you were a kid? It looked like they were playing tag, but somebody's taken that scene and of course set it to Benny Hill music, and it fucking works perfectly. You gotta watch it. It's hilarious.
okay, I'm gonna check that out.
Because it was just silly, but I enjoyed a little bit of comedy. It was a little comedy relief, but I felt like they should have been a little more upset that the stupid truck full of food sank.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're just like, oh well, let's find a car.
There was no reason to do that. They could have just went home and then Jesus should have showed up.
They wasted all that fucking food. I like Rick's choice of music though. He likes dirty rockabilly. I love
Yeah.
I love that dirty rockabilly.
Hey Imran, I'm gonna take a quick break and I'll be right back. You want to let Jordan on for a second?
Sure.
So we can wrap up the show?
Yeah, and then we'll finish up. Let's open this up until
Okay, I'll be right back.
or anybody has any thoughts about Walking Dead, jump on in and we'll finish up. Hi, Jordan.
Hey,
How's it going?
good.
Oh, there's Jesse Looney. Let's say hi to Jesse until Rugboy gets back.
Hey,
What's up, Jesse? I loved your comment here. I meant to talk about it. If she was a barista, she hasn't made one goddamn cup of coffee this whole time. Where is the futuristic Kurgo? Like, you would think they'd have the best coffee in the future, like a machine that could just one button, boop.
Hey,
exactly.
I made cupcakes. I'd make cupcakes for them. Why not?
Yeah, see, you could have made futuristic cupcakes, and she's welding and shit. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, well, I'd like her to just say, I was just a barista last week, and then have somebody go, well, then make me a fucking cup of coffee.
That would be great. I thought she was almost going to say that again. It was going that way, but she didn't, thank God. But yeah,
You can see me move on my camera.
I was about to say your camera looks great.
that is a great camera, Jesse. Good, goodbye there. So you've caught up to all the shows now?
Yeah, I'm kind of sad because, I listened to you guys during the day, and now I don't have nothing to listen to. I'm going to have to go back to Spotify and listen to music.
Jeez. Wow. Damn. And this is like in the course of, how long did it take you to listen to 80 episodes?
3 weeks.
Nice. I'm going to read thanks for the iTunes review. I'm going to read it when we wrap up. I got 2 reviews. So that was awesome.
Yeah, I really liked this episode of The Walking Dead. I think that, it was kind of nice to have, like, you weren't in any suspense. It was kind of like a kickback episode, kind of let's decompress over what happened.
The time jump was needed. The little break in rhythm was needed. There was still like action, but it wasn't like over the top. And it was, what'd you think of Spencer? Do you think Spencer is going to be a valuable member of this group moving forward?
Well, I'm kind of at odds with Spencer. I think he's somebody that we need to watch because I think, seems like he's a good guy, but we've had people in the past that come across and start out as good, but then they turn out to be the big bad because we haven't had like a big bad since the prison,
Yeah. Well, actually, when Rugboy gets back, I have one final piece to share about that, which is kind of interesting, and I'll wait till he gets back. I was weird how Carl kind of like just kind of guided Deanna over, like he knew what needed to be done, and didn't even tell him, and then just kind of left, and allowed it. What I thought was weird though was, like, again, this show does it when he knocks her down initially, and him and Enid are having like a conversation where she's like, he's telling her to go home. Like they're chit chatting, and what is the walker is not doing anything. Like it fell over, but it's gonna still come at you, and it's like it seemed like it took forever.
Yeah,
and nothing was going on.
Well,
what do you think of Rochon? Were you a Rochon fan?
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw Rochon and them making out. I was just like going, damn, I kind of wanted it to happen because I thought, they make a kind of perfect pair. She keeps him grounded, and she's kind of been like a mother to his son for a long time, and got him interested in the comic books, which I thought was kind of.
Did you notice he was reading Kirkman? What he was reading was Robert Kirkman's other comic book, Invincible. There's a little Easter egg.
Wow, no, I didn't. Yeah, I really liked this episode. I thought it was good.
I like the sign on Alexandria, what it says, mercy for the lost, vengeance for the plunderers. It's very very post-apocalyptic, I guess. Don't mess around with these people.
Yeah, it's you know, I don't know. I'm excited to I'm kind of excited for the next season of Fear the Walking Dead. I heard you guys' your review, your kind of the mid-season break rundown, and I'm with Ruggs on the fact that it needs to be, they need to bring the 2 episodes eventually together and then end the Fear the Walking Dead.
I like it that, have you been following the AMC web series Flight 462 that's going to tie into the second season of Fear the Walking Dead? Have you watched any of that at all?
I did. I watched. Last episode was 10 that I watched, and I kind of want to wait a while because the 1 minute episodes just kind of really are. Yeah. No, it's kind of like, oh, there it is. There it goes.
Who do you think is going to make it onto the show from there? I think it's the kid.
Yeah, either the kid or the Asian gal.
Right.
I really like her because she kind of knows what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know how she knows, but she knows. And then in the Fear the Walking Dead tease, you see a plane. They see a plane like as they're heading to the boat.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
What's up, dude? What did I miss?
Nothing. Listen, I have one more thing to talk about for The Walking Dead.
Okay.
And it involves Negan. When are we going to see Negan? Everybody wants to see Negan. Where's the Negan? Here's the thing I found out. Negan's debut will be on the season finale of this season. Now, in the comic books, Negan is a very foul mouth. Every other word is the F word.
Yeah.
What this article here came out, the producers, Scott Gimple and the others, they shot this ending 2 different ways. They're trying to push the boundaries. So they shot kind of a friendly TV cable friendly episode. And then they shot one where he's just fucking swearing. He's just going full on to get the rhythm, because in the performance, that's going to be a different rhythm also.
Okay.
So there may be a possibility where they slip in one F word, because look, have you been watching the People versus OJ on FX?
No, I have not.
Here's what's interesting about that show. It's really good, first of all. You would think the cast is ridiculous, but they're killing it. Travolta, Cuba, Gooding Jr., it's so good. Now, this show is on FX. It appears 1 hour later, twice already. The episode 2 weeks ago, at the very end, Marsha Clark is looking at something and there's silence, and she goes, motherfucker. And I was like, oh shit. She just said motherfucker on AMC on FX. And then in the last episode, John Travolta as Bob Shapiro says fuck again. And it was sooner in the episode. I'm wondering if
you could say 1 per episode.
They might be able to. Like
PG-13, you could say fuck 1 time.
You could say fuck once. And apparently with the networks, you can throw it in there and accept the fine and move on if you really think it's going to enhance the character. And if you wanted to go in there, just like the movie.
I think it's just they want to keep it real, you know?
Yeah, because that is a big part of his character. His characterization is how he talks that way. He says, he says, how are we going to deal with Abraham's dialogue? They were thinking about Abraham's dialogue. And he says, Gimple went, yeah, Abraham's dialogue is fine. It's Negan that we're going to have problems with, because every other word of Negan's is fuck. There's a rhythm to it. And even in some of the takes that we did, what I affectionately call the fuck takes have a completely different rhythm to them and a completely different feel. So while editing it, I was very careful to make sure that I preserved a lot of the performance without getting myself into trouble with the profanity. Very interesting to see if we'll ever see the full fuck takes.
That's crazy that they shot it with the fucks in it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I want to see that somewhere. All right, gang. Ruggs, anything else? I think you were done with The Walking Dead, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, I enjoyed the episode. I like the whole hookup thing with Michonne. I mean, I felt like it was a little forced. I feel like too soon after the girl dies in like, you know, that whole horrible thing, and then they're just fucking. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
But 2 months in the zombie apocalypse, you were allowed to move on. I think 2 months is even too long in the zombie apocalypse. You should get 2 days.
Yeah,
like,
I
okay,
know, but it just it has nothing to do with them hooking up. It's too abrupt.
All right, fair enough. Look, I got some iTunes reviews. Let's wrap up the show and get to the
Whoa.
after show, people. Chugging Nerd. 2 more iTunes reviews. Thank you guys very much for listening, subscribing, commenting, engaging with us, sending us emails, and leaving us reviews. The first one, it's from Van Gogh 2039, says, great podcast, 5 stars. I just found these guys a week ago and have been binge listening to their podcast from the first episode. They have good insight into comic books. It helps me get through the grind of my day at work. I would love to talk to the nerd and pick his brain. Rugboy was a great addition to the show. Signed, a true fan, Jesse.
Oh,
I believe that was Jesse Ludy who was here, and he has caught up in 3 weeks, Rugs. He has listened to all 80 episodes.
Oh, shit.
that's my hero right there.
He's
we need about 1,000 more of those.
We need 1,000 more Jesse Ludies. Then we got another review from Uncle Tanner. Bob Saget listens to the show. I don't know, maybe. He writes, awesome show, awesome host, 5 stars. These guys are having fun talking about what they love and doing a great job with the show. I must say, the nerd is a fantastic host and directs everything like a professional. Subscribe and listen today. Thank you, Uncle Tanner. These are awesome. Check them out on our iTunes.
Did you write that review?
I did not write that review.
Okay.
It was an unsolicited review. Jordan the Pie says, Rug's peen is getting hard. That's true. I can almost see it poke up above into the camera.
Wow.
Listen, listener, if you want to write us a fun review like that, we would love it. We'll read it on the show. It really means a lot to us. Just go to jockandnerd.com/review, and it'll take you right to our iTunes page. I forgot to mention one important thing at the top of the show. Did we talk about merchandise? We have merch.
Merchandising.
Yes, we have merch.
Oh, shit.
Just go. It's kind of a soft launch here, guys. Go to jockandnerd.com/shop. Jordan's going to throw it up in the blab window right now. What you're going to see is that it goes to my friend Margie's Spreadshirt site. She has great designs, and she has put up our logo up on her store. So you click on the logo, and you could see that you could buy a bunch of stuff with our logo on it. T-shirts, nice. Women's apparel, hoodies, sweaters, tank tops. There's tote bags. And we get a couple of bucks. It helps us out, but really, it's there for you guys to help us spread the geekery wherever you are. Wear it proudly. jockandnerd.com/shop for merchandise. If you want to contact us, just visit jockandnerd.com/contact. There's tons of ways to get in touch. Email, SpeakPipe, Twitter, Facebook. It's all there. And the links are all in the show notes that you can find at jockandnerd.com/82. And finally, listener Rugboy, what do we want them to do?
Listen, we want to form an army of Rugboy fans, Jock and Nerd fans, of geek fans. We need you guys to become active and start telling people. We need you to email people, email like your favorite blog, talk about this shit, get it out there into the public conscious, because we have diehard fans. We love you, but now we got to grow. We got to sell some shirts, baby. No?
Let's get this geekery out there. Just run up to the next person you see. Give him one of these. Jockey Nerd. People do that to me in my office as they walk by now. It's kind of, it's fun and very disconcerting at the same time because they're hearing this horse shit. But Ruggs, help me finish this out since Anthony had to jet because he's got a fancy dinner or whatever. Stupid.
Yeah.
Bro, do you even podcast?
He's the Jock. You're going to help me close this out. This has been the Jock and Nerd podcast. We're going to open it up to you guys in the blab for the post show. Thanks for listening. My name is Imran.
And my name is Roberto Bambino.
He's the Rug Boy.
And he's the nerd.
And we'll catch you next time.
See you later, dicks.
This is the official Jock and Nerd post show. We got an open seat if you guys want to jump in. Oh, Amy, what's her name? Just left. We were going to. I was going to ask her about her band. Here's Jesse Looney. There's some great ideas for merchandise in the comments there, Ruggs. Did you see that? Jesse Looney says a coffee mug that just says Rugboy approved. I like that one. Jordan says, let's put Rugboy's Valentines on the cups. We got to get some Rugboy merch. We're working on that.
Some bobbleheads.
Rugboy bobbleheads. Hi, Jordan. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Oh, we are still on mute, by the way.
You got to unmute yourself.
Whoa.
I can lip read, though. I heard that.
For the audio listener, Jordan was awesome. We tried a thing. We just put the logo in the fourth square and gave it a nice look, nice branding. And then you even added the touch of changing the titles of the shows on there. Well done, Jordan. Thank you.
Thanks. We'll work on it and make it better in the future.
Yeah, it's all, we're just winging it. She's like our producer. You're a Blab producer.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are all vaping at the same time.
Wait, where's mine?
Yeah. Speaking of
social. Hold on, let me get mine.
I got my new tank today, so I got my vape bag.
Oh, you got a new one.
Yeah, my other one broke. Remember?
That's right.
Yeah, I'm using my Sigelli with
that
my dripper.
That's like 100 water with 2 batteries or something.
Yeah, it's 150.
150.
Yeah, I
got his smokes on now.
I like it.
I rock it old school.
One's got a cigarette.
I go with the 150 for the battery life. It'll last 2 days without a charge.
How high do you have that thing up though?
50.
Okay, so yeah, you're not even using the 150.
No, 150. That's a lot.
150 is it's rocking.
That's ridiculous.
That's pretty crazy.
Mine only goes to 50, but I do it on like 30, 35.
Yeah, mine's on 30. I got 30 volts. It's good enough. What's going on, everybody? Oh, look, Jesse's got his fireman helmet. Cool.
That's my first helmet that I had when I joined the department. It doesn't meet NFPA standards, so
Looney. There it is. Hey, I wanted to.
It's my last name.
Yeah, Ruggs. That's his last name. Remember, you asked. He heard.
Oh,
yes. Looney is my last name, and I've heard every rendition.
What's it like growing up with the last name Looney? And tell me the best insults you ever got.
Well, I've heard them all. I've heard every insult, and it was funny because when I went into boot camp, the drill instructors tried everything to break me by using my last name, and I was just like, I've heard them all. And then when I was in Fleet, the running gag was if you could come up with something with my last name Looney in it, then I would buy you dinner, and nobody could ever. I've heard them all. I may be loony, but I'm not crazy. I was in Anaheim one year, and we were waiting for a table at this restaurant. It was insanely packed, and we sat next to this group waiting for their table, and their last name was Crazy. So I thought, growing up with the last name of Looney, I'm just glad I wasn't a crazy.
Wow.
But
Jesse, I wanted to mention if you go to jockandnerd.com/shop, like that's where the Rugboy logo is. But on that page, there are 2 volunteer firefighter designs that my friend has made that are actually really cool. She says she gets a couple of hits on those. So if you want an awesome original volunteer firefighter shirt, you can get that one there too.
Yeah. That's sweet. You're
breaking up.
Did you get the pictures I sent in?
I did. Jesse sent me pictures of a fire mill, the fire you were talking about.
Yeah, that was the mill from the mill fire. And then I posted what I did on Tuesday night with we had a shop fire, 2-alarm shop fire. Yeah.
Jeez. I was on that too, dude.
I was on that from about 8:30 till around 11:30.
Revolutionary Farm says, I love Rugboy.
So you caught up on all 81 shows.
All 81 episodes.
Now, did anything stick out from under those 81 episodes? Or because you had favorites before, you heard the rest. Now you heard the rest. Has anything changed?
I really like the breakup between doing your daily episodes and then you have your interviews. And I really like the interviews because it's like you get to hear from a different aspect, like when you had I think my favorite one was the comic book store. I think that was my favorite episode.
Episode 50.
Yeah.
One,
it's go ahead.
Oh, that one was a lot of work. It was the most work I have ever put into any of these shows. And this thing behind me, this big Spider-Man board, that's from right outside the comic.
Yeah, I looked at all the photos you have on your Facebook page, and I saw those. And the Marvel, when you went to that show with
Marvel Universe Live, that was fun.
Yeah, and I everybody's just grown on me. Everybody has a tagline. I mean, Rugboy's got a tagline, and the Jock has got a tagline. Bro, do you even podcast? But you, Imran, you don't have a tagline.
This actually, Jock and Nerd, that's me.
Yeah,
I did all of these myself.
Jock and Nerd.
That's all me. I'm like, so voice.
So you need to like have a shirt that's got your image that just says Jock and Nerd, and then like Rugboy has his tagline, and then the Tony with his that just says, "Bro, do you even podcast?"
Podcast, bro. I love that you can appreciate the two kind of formats of the show, because this kind of organically happened, and I love doing both kinds of shows. You know, I was like, wow, this has become this thing on Blab. It's live, it's great, but I love talking to people and getting to their story and talking the creative process and geeking out. And now Ruggs is always bringing up the point that, you know, he can't be on these interviews because it's goofy. Rugboy. People are starting to email us for interview shows requesting the Rugboy.
Oh shit!
Holy shit!
So even that's turning around.
Everybody's always on this. Who's Zoom? Who's this guy? And I just would, I know you probably hear it 100 times, but who's the man behind the rugs? You know, that I know.
Well,
do people call you out on that, Rugs, at all when you're on the Blab or around?
You know, when I first started doing the Kermit and Friends, a lot of people asked me, but I just told them to shut the fuck up. Like, when you watch Batman, or when you watch like a movie, do you care who did the special effects? You just watch the movie and you enjoy yourself.
Jesse, you're right. This is our Zoom. This is our Zoom mystery. Is there even a person behind the Rug Boy? I don't know.
Never know.
It's not so much as I want to know who the guy is behind Rug Boy, but I kind of would. It would be kind of cool to kind of find out what brought about Rug Boy, because it wasn't just like, oh, hey, I'm going to get a Felty and I'm going to name him Rug Boy. So there's got to be like a story behind how.
Well, you've listened to the show from the beginning. There's been an Easter egg story all over the place.
Wow.
I have to re-listen to them.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with the mystery. It's like it's
kind of American.
Yeah, I'm a Felty American. That's the whole point.
Exactly.
Minty Chunk in the chat. He says it would be great if there was a Rug Boy behind the Rug Boy.
That's not really that far off. It's pretty much.
That's so meta. Rug Boy lives forever.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: like a Dalai Lama, there has always been a Rug Boy. There will always be a Rug Boy.
Yeah.
That's just.
Anybody can do this voice. Imran, you can do it.
I don't know about that, Ruggs.
Yeah.
That's Anthony was nailing the voice for a little bit. Actually, when we started, people thought it was us doing a voice initially. They didn't think it was another person.
Thought it was you.
Yeah, I don't know why they thought it was.
Yeah,
me.
but now we can see you, so like we know that you exist.
That's right.
That moment was like the moment on Sesame Street when they finally let the other characters know Snuffleupagus was not a Bird's imaginary friend. He was a real fucking elephant. That was the moment we had on Blab, the Snuffleupagus Sesame Street moment with Rugboy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing.
If anybody has any questions for Rugboy, drop them in the comment. He's really good at giving shitty advice. Tony said it creeps him out when he stares.
Anthony thinks that I'm creepy. He thinks that I'm creepy. That's just funny. That's funny.
Yeah,
I'm just curious. Have you always had that lazy eye, Rugboy?
He doesn't have any eyelids. That's the problem.
Yeah. I have a lazy everything.
Lazy sperm, lazy DNA, lazy
I got
cotton.
lazy chromosomes. I got everything lazy.
Straight lazy.
Very laid back.
You're not creepy, Rug Boy.
I want eyelids. I just don't. I can't get them. I don't know how to. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't,
things
I
must
thought
be.
you were the sexy one.
Yeah, I gotta get. Yeah, I gotta get some eyelids.
Things have been going pretty good for you because I haven't heard that you've had to find a different basement to crash in.
No, I actually worked. See, this is what happened when I had to start doing this video thing. If you listen to the show, I announced that I got a job house sitting for this lady who works and needs her pets let out a couple times a day. So on Fridays, I come to this place because she works late on the weekends, and I'm able to do the show on Thursdays, Fridays, or Saturdays.
So you're kind of like a firefighter because I mean I go into dangerous environments all the time, and you're living with pets. I would be afraid that they would like want to chew on you.
they always steal his sausages. That's the problem.
You can hear him right now barking.
Yeah. At least you get paid in sandwiches, so that way it helps out a little bit, you know? Oh, those dogs need a walking. They're like, where's the fucking Rug Boy?
Yeah.
You said the match when you say dog and walk, they just instantly they're like, oh, did somebody say go outside?
Listen,
Yeah, I shouldn't even have mentioned them.
if you've never seen a Felty walk some dogs, it's an amazing sight, people. It's
I don't
like,
gotta walk them either. I
No,
just gotta open the door.
oh, there you go. They drag you around a little bit. Remember
No,
when Kermit rode a bicycle on the Muppet movie? That was weird. That's what it's
The
like.
yard's all fenced in. I just gotta let them out and close the door.
Easiest gig
That's
ever.
what
Do you want my theory on Zoom?
Yes.
And-
Who do you think
okay.
Zoom is?
So I think that Zoom is like a future. He didn't mean to kill
Wait,
Jay Garrick.
say that again. You cut out. A future who?
Jay Garrick.
Okay.
So-
a time travel back from the future. Get Jay Garrick. Okay.
Kind of just
Yeah.
reverse Flash.
Wait, you what?
You're
But,
cutting out,
You
buddy.
you keep cutting out.
My internet must be screwing up. But what I think is he wasn't trying to kill him. So he was just trying to get through the portal before it closed and ended up grabbing Jay Garrick.
Oh, you think that's what happened?
That's why he was going, this is a snag.
Competition. Yeah. So then, who's the guy in the mask?
I think that's the Jay Garrick from the Earth One.
Okay.
So either that or it's the dude Wally West.
I mean, we have had instances where people their versions from the future have come back, so that is possible. Man, I love this mystery. It's driving me crazy.
Well, because you did have the guy from the future.
Hunter Solomon. It is Hunter Solomon is the. I mean, like I said, Kreisberg has said that Zoom was Jay Garrick, aka, or it's Hunter Solomon, also known as Jay Garrick. I think the Jay that we've seen has been like two different people. It's been actually him and Hunter Solomon.
Well, because if you realize he didn't have the Speed Force, he got the Speed Force from the serum he was making. So
Yes.
he was obsessed with getting faster. That's how come the Speed Force was breaking down. And so this Zoom was just like him earlier and continuing to work on the Speed Force and got to and the Speed Force he got, which made him as fast as he is, also corrupted him to make him evil.
It made him bad.
Yeah.
Damn it. That was crazy. Now I gotta wait a month. Bastards.
Well, I don't because I'm in the past, so I gotta wait longer.
Oh.
Because it's only 7:00 here. You guys are in the future.
Oh, we're in the future. Cool. Finally, I was in the future. Minty Chunk says, I was hoping it is an Earth 3 Jake Garrick. I mean, they got to start introducing these other Earths at some point because there is more than just Earth 2. There's 50 more of them out there.
That's a lot of Earths.
There's a lot of Earths. There's 52. There's 52 parallel universes. Where'd Rugboy go?
I don't know. He just jumped off.
Maybe he had to...
The show's going to get canceled, so the last episode's going to be Flash waking up and realizing it was all a dream.
Oh, they're gonna Bob Newhart the fucking shit. Don't do that.
No, they're gonna lost it. They're gonna be like, no, you've all been dead.
You notice like people love that. I like Lost, but it's not hard to rewatch. You can't rewatch Lost. People have argued and said you can. I think you can't because right away you're gonna be like, oh, that's bullshit. Oh, that didn't mean anything. Oh, that's not gonna pan out to anything. Oh, they were just fucking pulling our chain with that thing. Like it's unwell. You can't watch it again.
Well, you know, on Legends of Tomorrow, you got the freeze guy and the fire guy.
Yeah.
They've done they were on Prison Break together.
Yep.
And I watched the first season. I was like, great, okay, it's a 1-season show, but it's like
It should have been.
the next season it's like, okay, let's go get into another jail.
Yeah, you got out of the prison. Now what are you gonna do? The Prison Break happened. I love the first season of that show.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. But then like, and what's her name is in it? Sarah Wayne Callies from Walking Dead, who played Lori, and now she's in Colony with Josh Holloway, who played Sawyer on Lost. He's on Colony, pretty much playing the same exact character that he always plays.
So earlier when you guys were talking about catering to the Glee crowd or whatever,
Yeah.
Peyton pointed out to me that Supergirl and Flash were both on Glee.
Oh yeah, no, there's tons of Glee alumni all over these shows. Grant Gustin was on Glee, Melissa Benoist was on Glee. So they're also, they can sing and dance. They do have this talent. There he is.
Yeah,
How
so they
long-
can have their own sing and dance episodes.
Yeah, how long till Supergirl sings and dances all over them?
I'm surprised they haven't already done it. The
Did you
Flash
heard-
kind of did it with Joe West, Earth 2, but he can also sing. But they're all
Didn't you guys stop watching Supergirl?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch it to catch up. We're just not talking about it.
I think I still watch it, but I don't like
I
it.
didn't watch the last episode. And then Gotham comes back on Monday, and we're not talking about that too, but I'm gonna watch it because it just gets fucking
I was
wacky. The show is awful.
I was actually talking to somebody who used to watch Glee, and they
Yeah.
told me that Supergirl was on Glee, and they stopped watching Glee because they hated her. Her acting was so bad.
Oh, I hated her on Glee.
No. Oh yeah, it's
So-
not good.
I just didn't like her
Ouch.
character on Glee. Yeah,
That's
she
pretty
just
crazy.
was really bad.
I mean, she's holding it together, okay, I guess. And Supergirl, she's doing the job. What else is going on? The Dead Domino might be. in
Yeah, I
Deadpool
heard
2,
that.
Ruggs. Did you
That's
see that?
fine.
I mean, it makes sense. Didn't Rob Liefeld invent
Yeah,
Deadpool and
everybody.
Cable
There's
and
a
Domino?
feral person.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
whole X Force was his, wasn't it? So he could just bring all his X Force.
Like that was like the female Wolverine, like Wolf Girl.
Yeah,
And then there was
Yeah.
Strife,
Oh,
who was
yeah,
Cable from
Feral.
another dimension or something.
that's right. All his characters are just
Yeah.
copycats of other
He
characters.
copycats himself.
It's hilarious. He copycats himself. He said, like in an interview, he put all those pouches on there because he said he got it from like SWAT and military. Like where are they gonna keep all their stuff? But then you go over the top with
Yeah.
the fucking pouches everywhere. Too many pouches.
How many pouches do you think Cable's gonna have? And what's gonna be in
Many,
those pouches?
many pouches. What are in these pouches? Like snacks?
It's
I
just like
imagine it's like protein
raisins.
bars and fucking sunflower seeds, trail mix.
Does
He gets hungry, time travel.
those like Gatorade energy chews?
Yeah.
Ruggs, you guys check this link out. Ruggs, would you be interested in buying a life-size Harley Quinn replica made out of foam and latex?
Geek boner.
People are gonna have a lot of shenanigans with this. And that company NECA, they have unveiled the new edition, life-size statue line of Harleen Quinzel, kind of from the video games, Arkham City. version.
No, that's weird even for me.
It costs $1,200.
There's no reason for that.
No, who buys this stuff? They have like a Batman one, life size. I'd love to have a life size Spider-Man one, but I feel like there's gonna be some shenanigans with the Harley one.
It's made out of foam and latex.
Yeah.
Sounds like a sex doll to me, people. I don't know about you.
Yeah, you're gonna turn it over and there's gonna be a secret hole somewhere.
Oh, it's not a secret to anyone.
It's not a secret anymore. It's a little reservoir.
What's this new thing? Share the last 30 seconds.
Oh yeah. So, but have you noticed the map is gone also? And this share the last 30 seconds is just another. They just reworded, tweet out with a GIF, or maybe it's like a little video.
I'm
Like
trying to do it.
It's like a video thing. If it works right, you can just share it like you do instead of the GIF or whatever that it had. Then it has the last 30 seconds of whatever you were talking about.
So you got to wait 30 seconds for things to happen.
I don't know. I haven't tried it yet, but I know that there's a lot of people that are upset about it, especially on blabs that are not on record, because some people don't want to be recorded.
And it still sends something out if you're
right. So I don't know if they're gonna maybe do it like put it up only if it's like during a recording, or like if that would make sense. They just had the option like we do now since we're recording, that we would have the 30-second option, but I don't think that they're gonna have it on off the record blab.
Yeah, I mean, it should just be disabled if you're not recording a session.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. Ruggs, there's another bit of news also that I skipped over in the news section because that was just a great conversation. I don't want it to end, but it deals with Pacific Rim 2.
Del Toro's out.
Guess what? It's back on again, off again, on again. And they've hired the showrunner from Daredevil, Stephen S. DeKnight, to direct. Guillermo del Toro is back producing, and this will be tonight's.
So why do you think this happened? Why do you think this happened? Why do you think Del Toro's out? He still wants to be involved. You can tell he totally wants to be involved. Why isn't he doing it? Is it money?
I mean, I don't know. What is the hesitation? There's no set date, but probably 2018. But Del Toro was not in, and now he's like all excited. He's tweeting about it. They were let's see, it was on track for 2016. It was delayed. Last year Universal was considering a new budget and script, so they must be happy with the new budget and script.
That's probably what it is,
and move forward. So the guy writing it has written Prometheus and Doctor Strange, as well as the upcoming Passengers and Marvel remake.
I don't know. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, Pacific Rim is a lot of movie. That's all I have to say.
It's a lot of movie to give to a first-time dude.
It's a lot of movie. Like a lot of people shit on that movie, but I think that's a brilliantly done movie. And then that's all I have to say about it.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, the name didn't help, but
yeah, absolutely. I watched it many times and I enjoy it every time. The only thing I get pissed off at is that I don't like some of the CG in parts, like in some parts, and I wish that there was a little bit more. Not everything was in the water. There's too much in the water.
I do love how they built that whole cavity to put people in, and then they just shook it around while they filmed it. That's great. Like that's a great practical effect for it to be.
So you really like that conversation we had with Anthony? That I had with Anthony?
I mean,
how did you fall in there? You didn't take sides. You just sat back and just let it happen.
I was confused because at first I thought you guys were both arguing the same point. But I could see his point as well. But if the character, like I said, if you want an Asian actor, put in an Asian character. Like there's Asian characters, Amadeus Cho, there's Shang-Chi, there's other Asian characters in the universe.
I don't know. I think that like the thing is, it's like I didn't want to come off like I was trying to like champion the white characters. I'm just saying that like the only thing that I was trying to get across is that I don't think that you should boycott it because it's already like why they were boycotting Iron Fist for years? Why weren't they doing it when he was white in the comics? Now that he's making a movie, now they boycott it? I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean it's stupid knee-jerk reactionary stuff that the
like I don't like that people get pissed off about things that there's no reason to get pissed off about. Like it's not.
Yeah, and the irony being that both of these characters, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, they came out of the 70s when things were less politically correct. I mean, Luke Cage is a blaxploitation, tribute, and Danny Rand is like all the kung fu movies that were coming out at the time. And so these characters, this is where they came from, and this is their roots and their story.
Well, look, just check out the Crow. The Crow was not. The Crow's Brandon Lee, and he's half okay. Yeah. And nobody cared. They just made that call and nobody cared. So it's not like all of a sudden people are going to rally and go, why isn't the Crow Asian? Like the Crow, no one cares. Like if they cast him as an Asian guy, fine. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
Tony has a good point in the comment. It's the same concept that people are boycotting the new female version of the Ghostbusters, which is that's fucking stupid too. It's not, isn't the new Ghostbusters, aren't they? Like they're new characters, right? It's not like they replaced the same characters with women. These are going to be, it's a new story. It's a new cast of people. They just happen to be women. What's the fucking problem?
So here's why I think this is a little like different. Why it's different now than say if it was a long time ago. Number one, we have the internet. So people that may have had a problem before with like older movies where they didn't portray somebody correctly, where whether it be gender or race, you never really heard about it. Because there wasn't a platform like this to where people, go online and they're like, I'm outraged, I saw Anthony's argument, but I also saw Rugboy's as well. Yeah. Like, I agree with Rugboy, but Anthony was right in some points as well. So
I think we're both on the same page, actually.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the boycotting. That's all.
Yeah. Wow, Tony says that Ghostbusters, it is the same characters, but in parallel universes where the Ghostbusters are females instead of males. Is that what it is going to be?
That's weird.
That's weird.
I mean, let's talk about this whole thing. Let's blow this out of the water. Like this whole character, like complaining. There's a lot of complaining going on.
Why are people upset?
Well, look, it gets to this point, okay? You got Gal Gadot. She got cast as Wonder Woman. Okay. Now, a lot of people don't like the casting. Has nothing to do with race. She's a white woman for all intents and purposes, even though she's Jewish or Israeli or whatever you want to put on there. Okay. She has an accent. She doesn't have blue eyes. She doesn't have the right build or whatever. She's not tall enough. So people want, when you bring something that they love to life, they want you to just get it right. They want you to make that iconic thing match. That's all. You know, how many chances are you going to get to see your character in the flesh?
Same thing with Elektra, kind of a little bit now.
I mean, Elektra, okay, that's a little bit more.
She's supposed to be Greek,
but that's fine.
But she doesn't.
It doesn't bother me that she's not Greek.
No,
well, yeah, and that it made a lot of people mad. For example, I mean, like, okay, so I'm a Harry Potter person, so they're coming out with that new play that J.K. Rowling wrote, and they casted a black woman as Hermione, and like that made a lot of people mad because they picture her as how they portrayed her in like the movies, the white girl with brown frizzy hair. But the thing is that like nobody should really get upset about it because it was never really said in like the books or anything that she was a white girl. It just kind of described like her hair and her eyes and things.
All right.
So, but the thing is, I just, you're not going to please everybody. Like, yeah, you want to get everything right, but like, and Harry Potter as well. I know I keep using that. That's just what I know best. But, like Harry Potter's supposed to have green eyes, but he's got blue eyes or, whatever. And people want to get mad about it. It just, it's eyes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, like, tiny things like that is such a big deal. Like, they don't have to be exactly, the character's 5'7". Okay, so if they cast a 5'5" person, is that going to piss you off?
Well, like, yeah, I think everything. Look, I think when you're making a film, you're making something that's a living piece of art, right?
Right.
And the whole entire thing that you have established in, that's in other form and other depictions of art, it should be consistent. That's why we have like Jesuses that don't match. We got black Jesus, we got Byzantine Jesus, we got Arab Jesus, we got blonde hair, blue eyed Jesus. We got Jesus that was modeled after the Borgia, Cesare Borgia. We got Jesuses out the wazoo that don't match. You want to keep things consistent and in a certain way. So when you get all of this stuff, that goes along. Everybody's confused. And you know what I mean? I just think it doesn't matter if you make a character another race or whatever. I just think that some people have expectations from what they read, and they're trying to get this thing that they've seen in comic book form or illustrated, and they want to see it being brought to life. So when they feel like that's not happening, they flip out. It doesn't really have to do with race, I don't think.
No. And I'm not saying it completely does. I'm just saying little details in general. I mean, if everybody's mad about who they picked for Wonder Woman, I don't really see a problem because, you know, when you like saw her in the trailers or whatever, she looks like Wonder Woman. I mean, I feel like that's all you really need. I don't really understand why it has to be specifics. You can't really, that's unrealistic.
It's an intangible thing. It really is. If you think about these companies, they have millions of dollars they're investing, and they can't even CGI the eyes to be blue just to like make that correct. It's crazy.
I mean, I can see that, but I can also see where, you know, if somebody came in for an audition that looked exactly like Wonder Woman, but was a shitty actress, are they supposed to pick her over the
No, but that's the challenge that they're given. That's the challenge that they're given, isn't it? Like when a guy gets hired to draw comics and he can't draw Spider-Man, right? They don't hire him. They just don't get a new artist. You know, they keep going until they find somebody who can do the character justice. You know, they're not going to hire the guy who draws Archie to draw Spider-Man and make him the permanent artist. They're just not going to do that. They have something about their product that they care about, a quality of their product that they do care about. You know, when John Romita drew Spider-Man, everybody who drew Spider-Man after him for a very long time had to keep the same exact style. They couldn't deviate from that. So if it's okay to do that in the form of line art, why isn't it okay to keep consistency when you're going across mediums?
I mean, that makes sense, but I also feel like in movies and things, there's more factors that have to be put in play rather than, you know, being like somebody that's an artist. I mean, yeah, they have to draw it the same, but that's really like what they're being hired for. But an actress is being hired for their acting most of the time.
Yes, of course.
Well, and I kind of think it's like when you're trying to cast a role that's, you know, it's a fictional character. It's whoever's doing the casting, it's their vision of what they think the character should be. So why boycott what one person's interpretation of a character is? Now, if they would have taken for, say, the Muhammad Ali story and they cast a white guy to play Muhammad Ali, yes, I can understand. Let's boycott it because you're specifically picking a white actor to play a black person. But to depict, you know, a fictional character that can be anything. I mean, like here we've seen Flash in different Earths, and it's different renditions of Flash. I mean, so just because in the comic books he's white or he's Asian, and in the movie he's white. I mean, here they took in like the worst movie, Fantastic Four, Johnny Storm, normally a white guy, and they cast him as a black character. Where was the boycotts going? He's supposed to be white. You know, nobody was outraged that he was black.
There were people,
and nobody really but nobody celebrated the fact either.
No one really I mean, there was an uproar when he first got cast, but that paled in comparison to how bad the movie was. So that wasn't even the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Right. So the movie was so bad that having the kid be Johnny Storm wasn't even the issue.
Yeah, that had nothing. That was not going to help. But this Iron Fist thing, dude. But this is such a tight, shitty situation. Because I think they picked the better lose. This is like we said, they weren't going to win either way. I think it would have been worse if they cast an Asian character, because then everyone would be like, oh, of course the Kung Fu guy is the Asian character. Like this character, martial arts isn't just what Danny Rand uses. Martial arts defines Iron Fist. It's part of his essence. Now, you want to really make some waves. Hire an Asian guy to play Daredevil. Hire an Indian guy to play Star-Lord. How about those characters? Nobody ever said that those guys are white or whatever. They could be anything. That's where you ought to make these decisions.
Yeah.
This for this property is an important decision, and they've decided they're going to go with the same old story type that we have seen time and time again in lots of movies, which is a white man feels like an outsider in a society that doesn't understand him, but eventually becomes the alpha dog of said society. Every movie has done this. They do this in every movie.
Well, and that's just like what Jesse said, with Star-Lord and things like that. Like it's based on the person that's making that movie and what their interpretation of what they think that person looks like.
I just think that there's wiggle room for certain things. Like, for example, Tony Stark. All right?
Yeah. Tony
Stark can be, Robert Downey Jr. is a little dude. All right? But Tony Stark doesn't have to be big because he's got the suit of armor. And he resembles Tony Stark in a way, not exactly, but in a way he does. And now he is Tony Stark. He's become Tony Stark. He was not the first guy that you would pick to be Tony Stark. You would probably pick someone more like Magnum PI to be Tony Stark. That's what he was modeled after. Okay.
Right.
So this whole thing that Robert Downey Jr. is taking this character is that
was a risky.
He's a little guy, not very like heroic in his way. He's everything a hero isn't. He's kind of like this little smarmy little dude, but they made him into a hero, and there you go. So I mean, you have wiggle room to change things and make things your own, but I think that you have to respect the character. Like if I was a guy that made a character, and then when someone made the movie, they completely changed it. I would feel like, well, why did I created this and it's mine. And why is someone else changing what I had in my vision?
Right.
I mean, And I mean, Jordan, I agree with you where like, I agreed with what the Jock said that it would have been nice to see an Asian character, but for this instance, this character, it is important that he is a white guy for his journey. For his characters.
But is it casting an Asian guy as a martial artist kind of stereotypical? Like all Asians martial arts?
There's no win situation. This is a no-win situation. Either way.
It's really not. I mean, it's either you cast somebody, you cast an Asian, and then you're seen as, he's, stereotypical martial artist Asian. Yeah. Or you cast it the way you should, which is how they, describe him. And then, that's what you should do.
Well,
look, the point has to be made that
artist,
but look, the artists and creators are flawed people. Yes, this is a white man savior situation. Well, this is how they envision him. Nobody's perfect. This is just what the character is now. This is how he's been around for 41 years.
Yeah.
Well, and I think like 60 years ago, you could safely say more Asians knew martial arts than white people. But in today's society, I mean, there's martial art studios on every street corner. White kids are learning martial arts all the time. I mean, to say that, you got to, because he's a martial artist, he's got to be Asian is, I just think this whole country has gotten more, side. I mean, I grew up in a society when I was a kid that was something as insignificant as your feelings got hurt, get over it, And
I think that comes back to, like I said earlier, it's just because of the kind of world that we live in now with the internet, to where, people are comfortable with saying what they want to say behind their keyboard. Whereas, when that outlet wasn't there before, people just kind of went with the status quo. I mean, you never know how many people probably did hate a lot of things that happened, a long time ago with anything, media, politics, whatever, but you never heard anything about it unless it was your neighbor next door that decided to tell you, the internet has definitely given a lot of people an outlet for them to voice their opinions and how they feel about things, therefore creating this quote unquote PC society, you know? And it may have always been that way, but nobody knows because we didn't have anything to record or, you know, put that down or whatever.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing. Everybody has their own opinion, but I don't want you to try and stuff your opinion down my throat on what you feel. I mean, I work for Coca-Cola and we merchandise Monster, the Monster energy drink. And I don't know if you knew about the controversy with the emblem stands for Hebrew 666.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Satanist shit and stuff. Yeah.
It's a symbol. It's 3 claw marks. I see it as 3 claw marks. So therefore it's just 3 claw marks. But if you see
that's all it is.
As 3 Hebrew 666 and it's the sign of the beast, then good for you. I had a guy walk up to me. I'm at work. I'm wearing my work clothes. And he walks up to me and tells me, "You're going to hell because you're wearing that hat." And I'm like, it's just a hat, you know. Now, if it said on there, "I love Satan," then yeah, I could say you have something to stand behind, but it's.
Yeah, but maybe Satan's the name of your dog.
Exactly. But it's all your view. It's like when you were a kid and you're lying out in your front yard and you're looking at the clouds and you look over to your buddy and say, "Hey, look, do you see an elephant?" Your buddy goes,
"Yeah."
"Oh no, that's a dog." It's all it's all how you see it. You're not, neither one of you are wrong. But now if you actually look at a dog and say, "Hey, look at that horse," and he's like, "Dude, are you an idiot? That's a dog." Then you have a reason to be wrong, but it's all your interpretation. So just because you interpret something, well, this producer cast a white guy because he's a racist. Well, that's your interpretation. You don't know. The guy could have not a racist bone in his body, and he just picked this guy because he was right for the part. They did.
Absolutely.
They probably tested hundreds of people for this role, and this guy probably just clicked. And he just
I think it would have been I think it would have been worse if they actually cast an Asian guy.
Well,
I think the outrage it would have been way more.
Damn, I lost my thought. I hate when I have to jump in otherwise I lose it.
I mean, it's stupid that they're boycotting, but you know, that's our opinion on that. But you know, bitch is gonna do what bitch is gonna do.
Yeah,
so.
what are you gonna do? It's not gonna do anything.
Well, if one person boycotts it, and you're going to get your followers that are like, "Oh yeah, jump right on the bandwagon." But you know,
all that shit is so fleeting these days, though. Too, it like goes away, and then you.
Well,
forget.
let me ask you this whole thing about the Karate Kid.
All
right. They first of all, the controversy with this movie was that the Karate Kid didn't need to be made. There's no reason to make this movie again. There was just no reason. It was perfect.
Oh, you're talking about the remake with Jaden.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The original was a perfect film. It didn't need to be. It's like remaking The Godfather, I think, or Rocky. Like, why would you do that? But like what they did with Creed was amazing.
Yes.
All right,
that's smart.
They left the original legacy intact, and they were able to do a separate story. But when they did the Karate Kid, they essentially told the exact same story. They could have made a different story with in a different way and been smart about it, but they just kind of like redid the movie and they changed the scenery a little bit.
They tried that with Karate Kid 3 and made it a girl, and you saw how good that worked.
I think Karate Kid would have been a good remake if they would have put the original guy and he was teaching his son.
Yeah, well, I was in Ralph Macchio, the goddamn mentor, and he's passing it on to the next generation.
Yeah, that would have been a really good movie.
That's a way better story already.
Yeah, because it's like when the way they did it, it made it sound like, okay, nobody in Hollywood has an original thought anymore, and we're just going to go through our files and puke up old crap again and put it out.
That is absolutely accurate. That's all they're doing.
Look at the movies we have now. There's hardly any original movies coming out.
There hasn't been an original movie in a while.
No. And if they'd have done a Karate Kid, like say 40 years from now, when anybody who saw the original Karate Kid was like long since gone, then it would have been gone as, oh, hey, look, this is something original. You know?
This is my problem with the Karate Kid. And it has nothing to do with Jaden Smith or the fact that the Karate Kid's changed. You're leaving, Imran?
No, I'll be right back.
Okay. It has nothing to do with they changed race or whatever, anything like that. I think my biggest problem is that they tried to recreate this exact same movie with the love interest and everything, and you have like 11-year-old kids with a love interest, and then you got Jaden Smith with his shirt off being sexualized in some way, and like that. You never saw Danny LaRusso with his shirt off and like muscles glistening or whatever. It was a really weird thing. They made these kids tried to be like the whole point of Karate Kid. It's you're learning to be a man. He's an 18-year-old kid, and he gets his license. He learns to drive, and he stands up for himself. Like, who's 11 years old with these? When you're 11 years old, there's no such thing as things that are. I mean, not there's no such thing, but when you're an 11-year-old kid, it just doesn't have the same kind of weight. Because when you're 11, you can survive anything pretty much.
Yeah, and your love interest is getting home to watch cartoons.
Yeah. You don't care about anything when you're 11. You don't even know girls exist. Yeah,
that makes sense.
So they just tried to shoehorn this. They tried to shoehorn everything from the old movie into this movie. And like Creed, is a story about a completely different person who has some kind of ties to the original. So there's a passing of baton, and there's a whole new legacy to be started. All right. And there are some parallel things about Rocky and Creed and everything, but there's so many different things about them. And I think that that's a way to do something the right way. And I think that
that's smart.
Obviously, the Karate Kid is the wrong way to do it, even though a lot of kids love that movie. A lot of people love that fucking movie. I just feel like it is an unnecessary film.
I thought the film was unnecessary, but I thought that the acting was good. That, it wasn't like crappy, like you just felt like these actors can't act. And, I just felt the story wasn't there, and it was told completely the wrong way. I don't know. There's a lot of movies like that out though now.
Ruggs, kids like that.
The Karate
movie?
Kid, the
Really?
new one? Yeah, they love it.
Yeah. Really?
Lots of people, all millennials like that. People that didn't grow up with the real Karate Kid, they could never sit through the real Karate Kid because it's too slow moving for them.
I'm a millennial and I love the Karate Kid.
Jordan, let me ask you, at Deadpool, the very end of Deadpool, did you catch what that was a reference to?
I read about it later, and now I don't know what it is. I don't remember.
Wow. So you've never seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yeah, but I can't say that I know it really well.
Or watched it all the way to
Yeah,
the
the first time I saw Deadpool, I didn't catch it because I really had to go to the bathroom, and I left, and I knew I was going to see it the next weekend. So when I saw it last Saturday, the minute it came on, I was just like going, wait a minute. This is a remake of Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I was like, you're so right. I kept thinking about when you were like, nobody's going to know what this is a reference to. I was like, really? This is a famous fucking movie.
Dude,
like, these
you have
kids,
no idea.
No
idea.
It's unbelievable. They never heard of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. How is that?
I watched it, but doesn't mean I remember all of it, though. I didn't watch it religiously or anything.
No, okay. So it's just very interesting that he chose to use that and how much it means to like people.
Listen, this is the thing. Like anybody under 20 years old has no idea that everything that they have is just a ripoff of something that we already did.
It's all
there hasn't been one original thing to happen in 20 years.
Well,
nothing.
They use these Easter eggs in movies, and everybody thinks, and it's getting more and more prevalent in movies and television shows. But the first time I saw an Easter egg was in a Magnum PI episode. And the episode, these guys are doing a stakeout on the beach and it's dark. And the guys are talking, waiting for this bad guy to show up. And they're like, did you see that episode of Rockford Files? And they're talking about the Magnum character when Magnum first aired as a private detective in Rockford Files.
In Rockford
And
Files.
I watched Rockford Files growing up as a kid, and I loved the show. And I actually own the series. But yeah,
they're pulling off Easter eggs.
Yeah, and they're talking about how he's such a
That's
goody
cool.
two shoes, and no private detective would be that way and know all the answers. And I just instantly it clicked. I was like, hi, I remember that episode. So I mean, even back in the 80s, they were doing that.
Right.
Everything's been done, kids. Nothing is
Not
new.
now.
Nothing
But that's
is
the thing.
original.
No.
This is the thing that bothers me the most. Okay, me, I'm a creative guy. Okay, I like to. I feel like if I was tasked to create something, I could. That had nothing to do with anything else. I'm sure I would take homages. I would take influences from things. I'm sure, but I would try and create something new. All right, and. First of all, it's not the creative people's fault because it's all about money and nobody wants to risk anything anymore. No one wants to take a chance on something that might not work. So these risks are very few and far between.
Here's where you can take the risk. Listermate says in the chat, and he makes a good point. The only time you see any original concepts in the web series is in the web series community. Hulu, Netflix are seeing this, so that's why they are making their own stuff. That's different what the Hollywood model is. I think this is an important shift in the media because you can make things now, get it out there that nobody would have run with on and not on a big budget. You don't need a lot of money. I think of like Masters of None, like that show. Who would pick that? What cable network would pick that show? Like it's too much of a gamble, but put it out yourself. Netflix.
Well, didn't Mindy Kaling have a show on Fox? She was a lead as a woman.
Yeah. As an Indian woman in the Mindy Kaling show. Right?
I don't remember what it was called.
Show.
I had an idea for a show because zombies are everywhere, and this is a completely different take on zombies. So this.
All right. Well, let's see. That's what we were saying. Everything's been done.
Okay, so
this is a new take.
This take would be from the zombies' point of view. Now, these zombies are real zombies, like in Walking Dead, and so you'd start out from the humans' perspective of these zombies, and they're walking in like a big major metropolitan city, and then it slowly pans in to the zombies' point of view, and from the zombies' point of view, life is normal. They're making coffee, they're doing their day-to-day thing, and their point of view is that they're the ones that are cured, and the non-infected, they're not eating the brains, they're actually just trying to save humanity from the plague that they have, and that zombies are really the next evolution of humans. And they're like, oh, Frank, stay away from the west side of the city. The humans are just the non-infected are killing us. And they're like, do they even know that they got a disease that they're going to die from if they don't get cured? We talk to them, but they don't seem to understand us. You know what? This could be a comedy. I kind of see this as like a goofy, wacky Edgar Wright kind of comedy. Maybe even as a comic book. This is kind of a cool
there
idea.
wasn't. I mean, this wasn't exactly like that, but there was a movie that was.
Yeah, what was that movie? That romantic comedy, right?
What was it called?
I know what you're thinking of. I know exactly what you're thinking of.
Yeah, because it was in the view of the zombie, and they like lived in an airport, and they sat at bars and
that's what
grunted at each other.
That's what kind of got me the idea. But these guys were they still were infected, and when they got love in their life, then they became cured and became humans again.
That's what it was. The love made the cured the zombie.
Now I don't know if you've seen the series iZombie.
Yeah, that's a good take,
kind of different take and they aren't centering on zombies. It's more of a solve the crime, but
it's a little lighthearted.
Yeah, and that's kind of every zombie movie out there, even from the first one I ever watched, the Night of the Living Dead. And I hate zombie movies because they end, and they always leave you with more questions than answers. But
what's funny, in the beginning of the Walking Dead trade paperback, Robert Kirkman, that's what he wrote in the beginning of this book. He said, I started doing The Walking Dead for that reason. He goes, don't you hate it when a zombie movie ends? He goes, I'm going to make the never-ending zombie movie. He says we start with Rick, and he goes, "I'm going to follow Rick as long as I can." He's like, "This is what The Walking Dead is," like in the intro to the trade paperback. But your idea would be great, dude. Imagine a sitcom, a zombie comedy, kind of like The Office camera shot where the zombies think that everyone else is infected. That could be
and it would be
it
doesn't have to be a serious, scary zombie flick. It could be about, more on the light end of it, comedy. The zombies are trying to save the world. And, you guys are talking to how if they brought in celebrities like, say, a Donald Trump into Walking Dead, it would just ruin the series. So what you do is you have one of the main casts dies or disappears. And then like a season or two later, you see him again as a full-on zombie. It's kind of like, it's almost like a celebrity, but not a real life celebrity. He's, because everybody knows who he is, like if they killed off Rick and then like, you know, he died, but you don't ever see him and they didn't actually put him down. And then 2 seasons later, they're foraging for food and they get attacked by Rick, so it'd kind of be a celebrity, but it wouldn't be an actual celebrity, but only on the aspect that, he's a character that we've grown to love over the years. And now they have to actually put him down as a zombie, not like he turned and then you kill him.
I can piggyback onto this. All right. What if you made a zombie movie where people become infected and they become zombies, but little do they know is that they only stay that way for like 3 or 4 days, and then they'll turn back. It'll burn itself out, and then they turn back to human beings. So now you have to be, do I kill this thing, knowing that if I just wait, it'll become normal again, but then you have to survive. It's like Sophie's Choice.
Did you guys remember that movie Cooties? Did anybody see that? I like that take where it was just the kids who had not hit puberty. They were susceptible to zombies.
I wrote a script like that once.
Oh, really?
It was about this guy who worked at a candy factory and he got fired or whatever. And so he decided to poison all the candy that went out on Halloween. And all the kids ate the Halloween candy, became like crazy zombies, and like it overtook the neighborhood.
Shit.
And then they just had to wait for the candy to burn out of their system.
That's pretty much the movie Cooties.
They probably stole it from me.
There was, they probably did. Did you throw it in the garbage? They're rooting through your garbage looking for movie
stole it
ideas.
off my hard drives.
Hollywood can learn a thing from Rugboy's garbage. And then there was the other one with the camp. There was like a Boy Scout camp, and there were zombies in that one. There's been a couple of wacky.
Did you hear about the theme park that they're trying to open up in Detroit?
A zombie theme park? Isn't that all of Detroit is pretty much a zombie theme park?
That's what I heard. They figured Detroit.
I don't think you got to do a lot of work there.
A lot of the area looks like.
Yeah, it's all burned down already, people. Just make it a theme park about a burned down neighborhood.
Off a few blocks and then just hire people that live there, and they'll just walk around, and there you go.
They would wall off a huge section of burned out Detroit, and you would have certain people as zombies and certain people as humans, and like you would pay and you'd go in there, and if you get bit by one of the fake zombies, and you would become a zombie and have to take on the role of the zombie, and it would be a resort where you'd go there for a week and you'd live in the zombie apocalyptic world. And they put big walls up and they wouldn't have to do much except they would be safe to go in. I think if it ever gets going, they would make Troy.
I mean, that place should be Haunted House Central every Halloween, if you think about it.
Just like a big, long, like zombie or just big, huge haunted house area kind of thing, like they have those like 2-3 story haunted houses where you have to like sign a waiver and everything. It should be
but how about the fact that the answer to a failed city is to put up walls and sell tickets to look at it?
Well,
shit! This is the solution.
This makes me want to go back and watch that movie Doomsday. You anybody see that movie?
What? No.
It's with Rona Mitra, really hot chick. She's old now, but she was in her day. Oh my god. Anyway,
Doomsday
Yeah,
movie, not the
it's directed by Neil Edwards, I believe, and it's about like basically what I just talked about. It was like some infectious disease. They wall up the whole entire city, and then they just abandon it. And then this chick's got to go in there to go get something, and she realizes that everybody's cured, but they have all become cannibals because they've been walled in.
Oh Jesus! So it's just Bob Hoskins, Rona Mitra, Neil. What did Neil Marshall do? He also did.
He did a lot of shit.
Hannibal, Constant. Oh, TV series.
Here's one that'll probably date me: Night of the Comet.
Night of the Comet. That's old as hell.
Yeah.
When was this movie? This movie was made. Doomsday is 2008.
I want to watch that movie again.
Night of the Comet, 1980. There's a 1984.
Yeah. I loved that movie. I actually watched it the other day. I streamed it online. I found it. That's
Rugs, Doomsday was good though. I kind of.
It's not good, but it's got a hot chick and action.
That the hot chick, she played in that movie that Imran was talking about, where The Last Starfighter.
Oh, that's Rona Mitra.
Yeah.
Well, she was in The Last Starfighter?
I think she was. She was the girlfriend.
No.
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
No way. She was the
in a
girl.
lot of 80s movies.
No, Rona Mitra was the girl that they used as Tomb Raider. Like she was the model that they used when they first made.
Oh, she was the model for the computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
They modeled Tomb Raider after her, and then they put her in a couple of movies. She was in she's in The Last Ship, that TV show, but she's like in her 40s now.
Yeah. The girl I always.
You guys
go ahead.
No, did you hear about NBC has a DC's? There's gonna be another DC show. It's gonna be at NBC. It's a comedy. It's called Powerless. It's about everyday folks in the DC universe around superheroes, like insurance adjusters, and the cast is kind of interesting. They've cast Danny Pudi from Community.
Yeah,
and we saw him in Captain America, and Alan Tudyk.
Nice.
Will join Vanessa Hudgens and the other Christina Kirk. So this is a DC sitcom comedy thing. Should be interesting.
I think they kind of got that. There's a book out, and they were trying to make it into a TV series. And it was called Red Shirts.
Oh, Red Shirts.
And it's based on all
Star
the
Trek?
Red Shirts from the original Star Trek series, how they died. And so it takes it from their point of view. And a buddy of mine was reading the book, and he said it is hilarious because they make comments about James Kirk and all this stuff. And it's based on, because the Red Shirts always died.
I still think Marvel should do the sitcom like this called Damage Control. They had a series called Damage Control, which is about the cleanup crews who would have to go in and clean up after big superhero battles. And it was pretty funny because they just would curse the superheroes.
I don't know. I just this is like Gotham.
Well, it is like Gotham. Yeah. The Powerless is going to be like, yeah. So it's like The Office set in the DC universe or something. I don't know. Like, how's it going to work? Will they be able to even use superheroes' names? Are we going to see anybody? It's like Gotham.
It could be funny.
This World of Warcraft movie that's coming out, I know you guys said, "Oh, I don't like it. It's not going to be good." I think that they should have made it like you were saying with Gargoyles. It should have just been animated, because if you've watched any of the videos, the cinematics that Blizzard put out for all their expansions, they're actually, I mean, I want to say they're movie quality. And I would have liked to have seen that. Now, I kind of like the look of this because it kind of looks just like you're playing the game. That's why it looks cartoonish.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited, and this is just Blizzard's last-ditch effort to try and save World of Warcraft.
It's dying. Nobody's playing it anymore.
It's they still they're still in the millions, but they're losing them every day.
Their peak is done.
There's new gaming models coming out that are kind of making it obsolete. Like, people are tired of the grind.
Well, it's not so much the grind; it's the pay to play.
Yeah, that's
all these MMOs out now are free to play, and you can pay real money to get cool
gear,
stuff,
yeah, of course.
But you don't need to pay money to just play the game. So people that want to play it can play it, and if you don't want to pay, then you don't have to. Where with World of Warcraft, they're, they don't want to evolve and change. And so they're working on a model. When they were the only ones out there, you paid them and the content was good. And now it's like they're running out of content. They can't keep people interested.
Well, why would you want to make a game for that long of a haul? Like it just seems like there's no way to retain. People get bored.
Well, I mean, they created new worlds and, there's different dungeons and raids and
yeah,
things.
But essentially you're doing the same thing. It's just with different scenery.
Well,
oh, totally. That's the same with, like League of Legends it's the same map over and over again, but everybody still plays because you can, I guess the customization is kind of cool because I played both.
Right.
But like, I don't know, like I liked World of Warcraft because I had endless quests and I could go anywhere I wanted and do any of these quests that I wanted to do. And they were all different. And so like, that's what I liked. But if you're more of like, a raider or somebody who did dungeons like Payton, like it's almost kind of like, I don't know, like it's like a skill that you get better at and better at. You work towards it.
I was in for a time in one of the top raiding guilds in World of Warcraft, and I played it hardcore. What got me to lose interest was they wanted to bring in new players, and they wanted to bring in people that didn't have the knowledge, because you didn't just log in and play. You had to learn how to play your character, and then they started dumbing down it, and now it's like there's no originality. I had a rogue, and he was a hybrid rogue, and now you can't have a hybrid rogue. All rogues are the same. All paladins are the same. There's no individuality. You can't design your character, and it's like, well, if you don't spec your rogue this way, you won't put out the numbers. Instead, where it used to be, it didn't matter how you spec your rogue out, it was how you played your rogue that made him good or not good. And it was the same with hunters and paladins and all the other classes. And it got to the point where you had like, was it 40 or 50 talent points you had to spend, and you couldn't just spend them aimlessly. So then they dumped it down to 7. So, and then they were generic. It was the same 7, no matter what spec of rogue you were, or Death Knight. And so that's where I lost it, when there was no originality, and you couldn't, it became more of a console game, in my opinion. The only difference was you had the endless world. And, there's been a couple games, Guild Wars, they're okay. It hasn't caught my attention as much as World of Warcraft. But, my biggest aspect to World of Warcraft wasn't so much the gaming. I mean, I loved the gaming and I loved the raiding. And it was like every Friday night from 7 o'clock till 11 o'clock, I was out raiding, knocking dungeons down. And then I got to the point where I was raiding with 4 different characters at 4 different days. It was just consuming my whole existence. But the biggest part was, like, now I'm talking with people in Chicago and New York, and that was what I enjoyed about World of Warcraft, is I'd get on Vent and we'd sit there and we'd do our own thing, and we'd sit there and bullshit and have relationships with people that you would have never.
Right, is he still playing Destiny? Is it?
Yeah, well, I play a bunch of different games. That's one of them. But like, what I want to ask is, okay, I don't play Warcraft or any of this shit, because it's just I tried to play these things and the grind was too crazy for me, and I felt like I got bored really quickly of just doing the same thing over and over again. So my thing is, all right, you got thousands of people logging in playing, okay? Mm-hmm. Yep. And they're all playing the exact same way. They're all doing the exact same things. I think it would be awesome if the game is all, like, how Facebook, it's like, it's not a newspaper. It's like your friends are generating content. Like, they're taking pictures of their food. They're taking pictures of the thing. They're saying stupid things. They're posting things. What if people who logged in, they had they were served a purpose? Like, let's say Jesse's team somehow like they have all these non-player characters, and you've somehow deposed this non-player character. Well, now you're that person I have to depose. Now I have to go and take down your whole defenses, and we just schedule a night once a week where you allow different players. You can choose your opposition, and you can see if they can take your spot. Or maybe you've amassed a huge treasure trove, and you can become you could sell that stuff and make money in the game, and you could buy yours and use that money for whatever purposes that you want. You know, you're like the players are the content.
Yeah, and that's
and I think they're trying to do that, but I don't think they've gotten it yet.
No, and my brother and I had come up with a concept for a game that was kind of like the way you thought. I mean, with World of Warcraft, just by creating your character, you're already choosing the side you're going to be on, whether you're Horde or Alliance. And we'd come up with a game that was themed in the big mob era, back in Al Capone's era. Cool. And you choose to pick a guy, and you can either start out as a low-level henchman, or you could become a cop. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to be with the mob or a cop, because you can work your levels up as a cop and then become a member of the mob working for the police, or a member of the police working for the mob.
Dirty cop.
So your actions would generate how the game played out. And
isn't that like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, where the choices you made would direct you to the light side or the dark side?
It was, but the problem with Star Wars, I played Star Wars when it came out, and it got boring really fast because everybody wanted to be a Jedi. It was like nobody wants to be a stormtrooper carrying a gun. They all want to wield lightsabers. And when the game first came out, there was lots of people playing it. You jump on, and a lot of the quests required more than one person. So there was lots of people to play it. But then if you stopped for a month and got back on, you had nobody to play because they're already past you. So you had to be in with the crowd running through content as it was coming out. And it was like boring grind. And that's kind of where Guild Wars kind of fixed it, because you don't have quests. The world is a live world, and so stuff is happening around you, and you just kill shit and do whatever you want, and the world plays around you. So you'll have events happen, and like say a village is getting attacked, so you go and help, and if you defeat the enemy that's attacking the village, then that opens a different storyline. If there's not enough people and you lose, then now it opens a different set of story that you have to like go rescue the people that got captured or whatever.
This is why the last thing I played on a console was fucking Mario Brothers. This is why. Because
too complicated.
You jump out, you have some fun, you got a sense of accomplishment. I got all the coins, I got the star, I made it to the end. And then I can just
I think a lot of these games are designed for quick, fun moments. You don't have to play all day. But the thing is, what the fuck was I gonna say? There's a new game called The Division that came out.
Oh,
and it's basically like New York, like is totally like under siege, and you're like one of these guys like trying to run around and protect New York from the invasion of people or whatever.
Ooh.
And this is the thing, like there's real-time players that are all in the New York map running around, and you're all supposed to be trying to like do the same thing, like fight the same guys off. But you can go rogue and kill somebody and take their shit.
That's awesome.
And then as soon as you go rogue, an alarm goes off and tells everybody else, this motherfucker's rogue.
You're an enemy.
Fair game. Like now you won't be. So like basically, like if I kill somebody for no reason, like another person playing the game, then I go rogue.
Even if it was by accident, probably.
Now, if I'm rogue and someone kills me, there's no penalty for them because I've just made myself a target.
Can you go back to being not rogue?
Yeah, I don't know. I think after you get killed and everyone takes all your shit, all your equipment that you amassed and all your points,
start over on the one
you start over. Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Isn't that crazy?
A game turns on you, literally.
Well, if you fuck up and shoot somebody, you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
But like, if you're like a badass and no one can kill you, you could just start fucking laying people out.
Yeah, you go rogue and get more and more shit.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. But I
you
tried
get a group. Get a group together and go rogue together and just start.
Well, yeah, you get alliances and form
crazy.
parties.
Yeah.
Unions.
I don't know. I tried the game. I didn't like it. But
I'm not a big PvP.
I like that.
I don't like playing against other people because they're always trying to exploit things and finding cheats. And I've never been good at like first person shooting.
Yeah.
Right.
Games and
Well,
such.
it's hard to play with
you.
Ooh, Nintendo and Disney. That would be
Yeah.
crazy.
Like, I don't know, League of Legends is a good example of a game that does the same thing over and over again. Because we played it for a while, and it's like you get a list of champions that you choose, and each champion has their own specialty. So they're like a jungler, or they're an AD carry, or they're support, or like like a magic dealing like AD or whatever. And then you build around them like with the items that you have in the thing or whatever. And the goal is to reach the other person's base. And like that was every game that you had. The only really variety you had was getting the different roles for your team. And you always played against different people. And for a while, like it can be a lot of fun and there's ranked games and stuff, but I don't know. We all stopped playing it because it was just like the same thing.
I think trying to make a game last longer than it should is a problem. Like, there's a reason why you have another generation of games. Like, you take another game. Like, what happens is you make a game, it's great for what it is, and then you start over again and you fix all the things that were wrong with it and add more stuff.
Make another one.
And a lot of these things are just adding expansions onto, which is basically you can't really change the game that much. When you expand it, you kind of just give them another background, another skin on something, and that's
more of the same.
You can't really change the dynamics of the game. You can't really change the rules.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they brought out like different maps and things. So there was an arrow map to where it was one lane, and then all 5 people from each team. You all came in the middle and just kind of beat the shit out of each other. So a lot of people died or whatever, but the end game was the same as, say, if you did a larger map scale with the 3 different lanes, you still had to get to the enemy team's nexus to win. So they tried that, and then, really, I mean, yeah, they had different skins and stuff, and they'd come out with a new, like, champ every now and then, but it was the same, pretty much just the same game over and over again. But people have that as a career. They play League of Legends.
Yeah, that's a big esports game, and there's money and tournaments and leagues, and
there's
shit
teams.
is gonna get crazy.
Yeah,
it gets. I mean, it's a big deal. It's a worldwide thing. So,
well, and Blizzard had originally they were supposed to come out with a new game, and they shelved it to come out with more content because I want to say originally after Wrath. World of Warcraft was supposed to end. They were supposed to come out with their new game, and then it would have got everybody over that played World of Warcraft was going to come play this game. They didn't have it finished. They held off and came out with the next expansion. And then you had all these other MMOs come out that were free to play. And now Blizzard was going, wait, if we try to put out a game where we're going to make people have to pay a monthly fee to play, nobody will come to it. If we end World of Warcraft and shut down the servers and commit them to our new game, we won't get these users to join and play when they can just play for free. So let's scrap it. Let's try and drag this on. And every year their subscription rate was dropping, and it's still dropping every quarter. When they show out how much it's dropping, they're dropping it. And that's why now they're coming out with this World of Warcraft movie, because they're wanting to grab people that have never played the game to use it.
I think it's too late. I think it's too late.
It's dead. Now, like,
speaking of lateness, I'm gonna jump out.
Okay, wait. Let's close up the show. Thanks for watching. Everybody wave bye. Visit jockandnerd.com. And we didn't tell anyone where to find Rugboy. Whatever, it's all done.
Oh yeah, you can find me
really Rugboy.
Everybody knows at really Rugboy. Bye. Thanks for watching.
Yeah,